Good morning, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of NDB Media's Sports Talk with the Guys, home of the Monday Morning Quarterbacks on Saturday. Yes, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's April 30th, 2022. I'm the Scorekeeper, and I got to tell you, the Monday Morning Quarterbacks are live. And as you know, no one is safe while we troll the digital airwaves. Join us as we discuss the events of the past week, and we remind you that there are no fantasy sports here. You need to remember, we kill brain cells, and as such, we pretty much are the purveyors of the zombie apocalypse. You have been warned. I have to get serious for that one line, but hey, good morning. Thank you. You know, we are repetitive and redundant, and as such, we have no peers. We are the internet's ongoing traffic wreck. No need to get on a freeway, byway, toll road. Just come on and visit. Doesn't get much better than this. And of course, we carry more water for sports than the pens can handle. But it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Of course, as I mentioned, I am the Scorekeeper. I am a tad tired. My schedule is really being screwed with right now. And a lot of it has to do with the hours that I have flown in the last 10 days, I suppose. And just the adjustment, it's really something. I was a bad boy last night. I did go out into the wee hours of the morning this morning. And for once, I did not wake up at 2 a.m. My timing has really been off. And it's just one of those things. So trying to get used to it. Good morning, Aisha. Thank you. And thank you for your comments while I was up in the Great White North. It was it was spectacular. It was awe-inspiring. It did change my life. There's just no doubt about it. It did. And I was able to do quite a bit of soul searching up north. I know I am a different person. I don't know how much it's going to affect everyone around me, but I can tell, or I'm able to discern the differences. It is that much. In many ways, I am terribly excited about what is to come, and a bit wistful for that which has passed. But there are quite a few things that I've already set in motion. I don't wish to bore people with the details because this is a sports program, but I make no bones about it. I can tell. As I said, I'm able to discern. And you just have to move forward, I suppose. And we already have our first casualty of the return. Good morning, Dreem. How are you, young man?
Good morning, Scorekeeper.
Actually, you are Denali hereby. You are no longer who you are, Dreem. You are Denali.
Oh my
as far
goodness.
as I'm concerned.
There it is. How you doing, sir?
I'm awake. I'm here. And I don't know if there's going to be much more than that right now, but I am here. I was a bad boy. I was up till about 1 a.m.
Nice. I got myself about 2 hours of sleep because I was being an idiot playing on my phone and couldn't get to sleep. And I was back up at 6 a.m. And yeah, I've been on the phone and working ever since. So I'm taking a minute to say hey and shouting out to the big dog. I don't know if he's listening. Hello, Aisha. How you doing this wonderful morning? I am here, just like Scorekeeper is.
And there's a lot to be said for attendance, right, Dreem?
Yes.
Being,
yes, it is.
Being owners of our own ongoing concerns.
Yes. Just because you make it home doesn't mean the worries and concerns go away. So it's hard to clock out for the day when you're the owner.
I did find that difficult. even when I was up there. I didn't learn about focus on my iPhone until like this 5th day. I'm like, oh, that easy. Oh,
Is that when you rolled your ankle?
no, that was, and I'm still paying the price for it. I actually am. It's rough. I did, ladies and gentlemen, for those that know and don't know, I did roll my ankle on Saturday night.
Good morning, Tony.
Yes. Good morning, Tony. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Aisha, of course, commented. She wants to know how you're doing.
Yep.
So, it was, as I mentioned just a few moments ago, it was an incredible experience. Rolling my ankle. Okay, this is going to come across as super, super arrogant, and I apologize because things like this don't happen to me. No, I've determined months ago that I am a klutz. I can't avoid it anymore. It's just I am.
I could have told you that when we were playing basketball in the youth group.
Oh, here we go. Talk about whipping things out from time immemorial.
Back when dinosaurs roamed the earth, huh?
Aye, lad. I let's just say that my rolling of the ankle might have been a psyche theme from way down. That good God. Anyway, all I can say is that some opportunities were missed. I did roll the ankle. I did begin to feel even better much sooner than I expected, but I still rested for 2 full days.
Good.
I am walking with a limp right now, still.
It's the gangster walk.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh,
Yeah.
jeez. I do have a cane that I'm walking with.
Oh man.
I bruised my heel, as well as it was a moderate sprain. So I am having a little bit of difficulty with it. I went out last night, and I got to the front of the line numerous times, which was kind of
Wow.
funny. I can't even hide it. It's that much. And someone would tell me, "Well, you're using a damn cane, you idiot." It's not an issue if you're trying to hide it. You're walking with a cane.
Now you got to get one of those really fancy canes. And you can,
Well,
this way when you dress up in your shirt and tie, it just looks like it's part of the outfit.
oh, you mean like right now, right?
Yep.
Dressing up. I do admit that I haven't done any of my laundry or anything like that. It's still in the bag. And I made a mistake. I took a tool up to Alaska because I figured I'd be in the frigid white north. It's a tool. It's like a hand something or other, but it's like a Swiss Army knife. And sorry to all the Swiss people in the world, but it has a little screwdriver, a little knife, a little pair of scissors, but it also has a serrated blade. Right?
Ooh.
Oops. So I got pulled out of the TSA check. They were pretty cool about it, but they said straight up, "You have a leather pouch in here." I'm like, "Oh shit! Did I pack the wrong stuff?" Just kidding. And I was like, "What?" And I was like, What did I?" Okay, obviously I did something. And he pulled out. It's like a not a wrench, not clippers per se, but it's a pliers. It's pliers, but it has in the handles a lot of neat stuff.
Yeah, it's
And
a
the guy was
Leatherman's
cool.
tool.
Yes, thank you. And the
Go.
guy was really cool about it. He says, "Yeah, dude, it's got a serrated blade on it." I was like, "Yeah, damn." And the blade's about this long, man.
You throw that in your check-in, man.
It was in my check-in.
Really?
Yes, but
Wow.
hey, it is what it is. So it was a tad embarrassing, and I'm just hey, I had to go back, and I was trying to go through security with it. That was the thing. I then went to check in, and of course there was no problem whatsoever. They were really cool about it, and they knew what it was. The funny thing is, they knew exactly. It's a hand tool, so
Yeah. Well,
it
at
has a
least you
serrated end.
didn't pack your 10-inch purple dildo. Then you would have had some embarrassing situations.
Okay, look, I've seen that video, which is terribly funny, where the poor lady, the guy opens it up and he's like, It's really funny. But no, I have no such proclivities, and I probably couldn't even afford such things. But I don't even know why I said that, but hey, you know what? It is what it is, and it's all good. So I got to tell you, Dreem. It has changed my life. There's no doubt. I can tell. I feel it, and I don't know where it's going to take me, but my life has been irrevocably altered. Ooh.
Yep. Using those big 3-syllable words, huh?
Yes. Do I want to go back? Yes. I actually had quite a bit of difficulty upon returning to Los Angeles. I had trouble breathing. I also, yesterday, when I woke up, it was 55 degrees. I was sweating, dude. Like, wait, it's way too hot. You have to remember that I was going through temperatures of the very high 20s to the very high 40s. So having a 55-degree morning, I was having I had a lot of trouble yesterday.
That's funny.
Yeah. I acclimated, 3-syllable, acclimated.
No, 4.
4, yes.
Yeah. It's hard. The counting syllables is hard this early on no sleep.
Yes, it is. Aisha says, so does that mean it's going to take you forever to get a cup of Joe now? I have no idea. Yeah, I actually did that right. And I actually have other stuff that I'm going to get to. Folks, I did miss everyone. I was a tad disappointed that there wasn't a program this past Saturday. Hell, I attended okay, this is embarrassing, but I did. Since I rolled my ankle, I couldn't do anything Sunday and Monday. And thank goodness I was able to recover quick enough. Look, I was going to do a lot of driving, so it's going to be okay. But on Monday, there was a bargaining team meeting or a caucus with management. So I dialed in from Alaska on my phone or iPad, and people were like, "Hey, you're back!" I said, "Oh, no, I'm here." And the looks on the Zoom call, people were like, "Well, it says something for being committed." I had nothing else, so I attended the entire caucus. So I did work on Monday.
There you go.
That's, as I was
told, that money.
That was commitment, yeah.
Speaking of money, not financial advice, but did you hear about the Google split and the Amazon split?
No. Tell me, what happened?
This summer, July 15th, Google is doing a 20-to-1 split, which will make their price target much more affordable. And they've took a huge hit already, so they're down to like $2,300 a share. But once they split 20-to-1, it'll be in the hundreds. So it'll be a nice little come up for somebody.
Well, wait a minute. If it's $2,300 divided by 20, oh yeah, okay, forget it.
Yeah.
Obviously, the first time I did the math, I'm like, hey, that's cheap. So,
yeah.
No, not that cheap.
No, I mean, it'll be a great price after, and I think that'll
$115.
Yeah, and that'll attract a lot more new investors to the company, which is the whole point. So it should roll back up. Earlier this month, it was at the $2,800 range.
Wow.
Silly me, I bought and sold it a long time ago, and I made a couple $100 profit when I sold it at 18. So, but tech sectors, they get beat up, they take huge runs with everything that's going on, with the Ukraine and Russia and everything else. You got first quarter just ended or ending, and everybody's doing their quarterly reports from their first quarter. So it is what it is. But like I said, not financial advice at all. I am not a financial service provider, and you are not my client. So.
Oh, there it is, the legalese. And on Jedi.tax, we refer to that as the Selena rule, because someone who I know was kind enough to remind me about having to put that disclaimer in. So whenever I do a Jedi Tax episode, it's the disclaimer. It's the Selena rule. So that is cool. It is good. There's a lot of financial stuff going on in the world of sports. The NFL draft, we have millionaires to be that are being drafted. And of course, Trevor Bauer, in absolutely shocking news to many, was suspended for 2 full seasons. For those of you that are playing along, it is 324 game suspension. Of course, it is pending appeal, but this is the thing about Major League Baseball and other sports. Under their rules, we've talked about this briefly. The not the ethical, but the morality clause, as they call it. They can do quite a bit, and it's a union agreement. If you pay your union dues, you tacitly approve of the agreement. It's required of you. If you don't want to be under those rules, simple. You don't play. it's the way it is.
Yep.
I'm not being. I guess my comment is disrespectful, and I apologize. Whoa! See, that's a change. That's a change.
I haven't heard you apologize for being disrespectful and ever.
How many years have I known you? Yes. Yes. Now, this is how bad it was, folks, that I had to get out of here. In the final week end prior to my trip, I verbally snapped or lost it with clients, with coworkers here at Jedi.tax, not over at my regular job. And I was fried. People were asking me questions, and I was telling them, I'm fried, dude. I know it's a simple question, but I was so far gone that it's just, I couldn't answer it.
Yep. So, mentally, you were already in Alaska.
Actually, I was just mentally dead. So, yeah, I was already up there, and it was incredible, folks. I will be doing, I think, a Monday Night America episode, which may be my last Monday Night America episode, because we are possibly going to be switching to a Sunday night or another day of the week. I don't know yet, but there are changes, and that is one of the most evident changes. So I'm going to ask you to bear with me as I move forward. There are things that I have to do, and we'll see. And speaking of things that we have to do, look at who it is. There he is. There he is. Look at that smile. There he is. Good morning, Speedy.
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
How you doing, Speedy? Long time no see.
Yeah, I know. I think I'm okay, because last week I wasn't here. I know Big Dawg tried to get the show up and going, but he couldn't get through. But I wasn't feeling well, so I think I'm okay now.
Seriously, how you doing, Speedy? You good, man?
I think I'm good today.
Well, thank you for joining us. Folks, I want to give a quick shout out. So let's see. Okay, you strange man, what have you done with our normal Roger? I don't know if that worthless rat bastard's ever going to return.
I don't know. The core. Did you see the lights? Did you see the Aurora Borealis?
No, I missed out. And a lot of that was because I rolled the ankle and I couldn't travel up to the Yukon River. I think that was the most disappointing thing, is I could not handle the trip to the Yukon River. That was one of my primary goals. For those of you that know and don't know, the Yukon River is still significantly north of Fairbanks. And it's a huge river. Even though some of the videos that I posted, folks, oh my goodness, it was crazy. The rivers are immense. Folks, the land, the pictures, the videos cannot, and will not do it justice.
I did see a video where I saw like some water, and the water was like super glass clear.
Yeah.
And that you don't see that in California.
Folks, I'm not smart enough to manipulate images. Alaska spoke on its own. There were many frozen lakes still, and I was tempted enough to okay, I'm going to pull over right here, walk out, just on the very edge. I was so stupid. I took an extra pair of thermals, extra pair of socks, extra pair of underwear. If I was that stupid, I'm like, wait a minute, I am alone from any bit of help. And I was like, yeah. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, your God complex is big enough. You don't need to be walking on water.
That was the reason why I wanted to do it. So I
know.
could say, God, Dreem, you read me on that one. I wanted to walk on the water so I could say, yo ho, I walked on water, so you guys can go whatever.
And then the one video that you did where you were like, "Hello everyone, I'm here." Oh wait, I have to be quiet because wait, I'm the only one here. I was like,
oh, that's right.
You're like, you should have waited till the middle of summer and you would have been surrounded by people, tourists, and they would have been like, what the heck is this guy doing over here? Oh, he's just talking on his phone, whatever.
I was one of the only ones that was a visitor. There's no doubt about it. And folks, a lot of stuff was closed up there. It just because it's not tourist season. So I did miss out, but I knew going up there. So I knew I would be driving quite a bit. I knew I would be going to select places. So I was going on a sightseeing trip. I went to the Alaska Wildlife Conservation Center, which was really cool. I was hissed at by several animals. One of them, I have video, and I'm going to post it. It was in an enclosure, and I don't know the type of minx or lynx that it is, but it was alone in its enclosure behind a glass window, and I called out to it thinking it was a big kitty, and I was like, hi, beautiful. And it just looked at me, went around and came up to me and looked at me through one of the lower windows and just did, it hissed at me. I'm like, oh, what the hell? Am I back at home?
Didn't have coffee yet.
Yeah, when I was hissed, I'm like, I traveled 2,400 miles to get hissed at again? See, for those of you that know and don't know, I commented that my youngest, Gmo, had said that there are these certain cats, the Savannahs or whatever, I forget their names now, they're unable to purr, so they hiss. Even when they care, when they share their love, they hiss. So I joked about it. Very few people got it, where I said, really? So some cats hiss at you, sharing love? I specifically stated, I may have been misinterpreting the one that lives indoors. So for those of you that know, yeah, okay, Dreem got it right away. I don't have cats that are indoors. So I said, I may be misinterpreting. Damn thing hisses at me? Oh, damn, I misunderstood her. So when I see this lynx and this minx, whatever, bobcat type thingy hiss at me, I'm like, what the hell? I traveled this far to get hissed at. Why'd I leave home? So,
yep.
Yes. But it was I kept thinking of the Montana slogan, Big Sky Country. So it must have been your aftershave or just watch this program. Ow. Yeah, well, we are the internet's traffic jam. I'll tell you this. People in Alaska, there's no road rage. None whatsoever. There are idiots in Alaska because almost every road is a 2-lane road, one way going, one the other one coming. It's a 2-lane road. So there's very few places to slow down. If you slow down and make a left turn, you're slowing everyone down. So they are aggressive in making left turns into the dirt road, the siding, whatever. And I do have video where I saw this truck and I'm like, oh, this little rat bastard looks like he's going to cut me off. And sure enough, he made the turn and I had to slam on the brakes and I had it on video. I'm like, yeah, typical. What? Did you see tourist? There is a unique pronunciation. It is tourist. And it sounds like it's a New Yorker tourist. And Seaward, as in Seaward's Folly, no, it's pronounced Seward. I was like, oh, okay, all right, I got it. Well, there is no road rage because everyone has a gun.
Since we're talking about Alaska, Speedy, I have a trivia question for you. Do you know? Do you know the capital of Alaska?
No, I do not.
I know. Oh, you beat me to it.
Know.
I was gonna say, dude, Juneau. It is Juneau, Alaska. As a matter of fact, I learned that every new legislative session, the carping starts that they should just make Anchorage the capital. So that was interesting. I got it all, folks. I saw it all. I someone commented to me because I was telling him, I said, dude, I saw stuff in Alaska that I know that there is proof of alien interventions. I know that aliens are screwing with our DNA.
Wait, the Mexicans made it out to Alaska?
Actually, there are Mexicans up there too, but
yes!
no. I mean that and I'm sorry, this is rude beyond all measure, but I saw some people up there like, yeah, I know why you live up here. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing was the only way that they could have been formed was due to alien intervention.
Shit.
I mean,
Awesome.
I'm like, it's awful, dude. I saw him like, dude, that's a member of the human species. They was like, well, I know why you live 250 miles away from Anchorage. Like, wow. I know that there's a lot of homeschooling, but obviously there's also a lot of home family building.
Oof.
Anyway.
Man, that family tree just doesn't fork, huh?
And by the way, when you get to a certain point in Alaska, there are no family trees because it just doesn't.
It's just a stick.
Yes, it's just a stick. Don't you think those strange flashing lights on cars are called indicators? Oh,
They're
yeah.
not called indicators.
Yeah.
They're called blinkers.
Yeah, they're called blinkers.
Or officially turn signals or flashers. But
no, flashers is something else.
Yeah, I know. It was so funny. I had a client here at the end of the season, and I lifted up the phone, and I got a text, and it flashed her, and I said, "I'm sorry. I just flashed you." And she knew exactly what I meant, and she laughed. She goes, you know, I know I'm going to pay for it in the end. Like, oh, team player. That was funny. And she was a new client, too, because it almost looked like I took a picture. It was kind of bad. I lifted up and flashed. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, you just got flashed. Oh, we lost Dreem.
We lost Dreem.
But
we lost Dreem.
Hopefully we'll see. But no, a lot of the vast majority of people in Alaska drive trucks, like what I rented. Dude, I was renting a Dodge Ram 5.7 liter. Oh my god! Oh my god! It was incredible.
When you were like, ladies and gentlemen, I'm driving a truck, and I said to myself, he's driving a 5.7 liter, and you started showing the truck, and you're like, and this is right here, and you zoom in on it, and you're like, 5.7 liters. I'm like, I knew it.
And I got it at the rate of a sedan because there was this foul up on the stuff. I was supposed to have like a Camry or something. Dude, I was driving that bad boy. Oh, it might not have been the best gas mileage, but I was getting over 30 miles a gallon on the road. In the city, anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour, but it was incredible. It was life-changing, and I'm sorry, folks. It was a life-changing event, and I don't know where it's going to take me. I just know that I've already begun to move in that direction, whatever it be. And I don't know. I don't know where it's going to take me, but I'm already on that one. But very quickly, Aisha, they just make the turns without using their indicators or flashers or whatever.
Yeah, they do that everywhere.
Doesn't
matter where you live.
When I drove home, as I was getting home, dude, people were driving 70 miles an hour and aggressive. I was like, whoa, this didn't happen over there. There's no road rage in Alaska, folks, because everyone's carrying a gun. So there's no road rage. People said, well, why didn't you say? I said, well, I'm not stupid. I was the only one unarmed up there. So I had to be nice to everyone. But there was no aggressiveness. If you smiled at someone, sometimes some people would give you a perfunctory, smile back. I'm like, well, it's not my fault you live in the cold. I'm happy to be here. So I think they can tell who the tourists are. And the look that I got from that lady was, oh, another tourist. So it was incredible. It was funny. But I apologize, folks. I will be boring everyone on a Monday Night America this Monday. And we'll see. But we'll be in March. Just very quickly, I do want to go over. Oh, let me see. It's a bit difficult to argue with the moose. Those things are big.
Yeah.
They're bigger than the truck I was driving. Oh, my God. They're huge. And they crossed my path 3 times. And they were all within probably 5 to 10 second windows. Meaning, had I been 5 or 10 seconds ahead, I might have hit them. When you're leaving Soldotna, there's a post that since such and such a time, there have been like 234 dead moose. I'm not going to do the plural. I'm not going to do the mooses, but dead moose.
And it's funny that you and Dreem were talking about the sound from the animal, because there's a video game out there that came out years ago where it's called Call of the Wild.
Oh,
and you have to be extra careful because you never know what you can run into. I have the game and I've shot a coyote. I've shot a peasant. I'm like, what the heck is that?
Yes.
I shot a black bear in the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to find a brown bear so I can add that to my collection.
Oh, wow, dude. No, I wasn't collecting anything. Like I said, I didn't go up armed, so I went up to check out the stuff, and it was, oh my God, it was incredible. But I know the game you're talking about. I think my youngest plays that game. So I will have more videos up. I thank everyone that joined me on the live feeds. Folks, I was stunned how far out of town I was, and I was still receiving signal, and I was able to do those live feeds. Up there, all the highways, there's 97% coverage on all the state highways. So it is a rarity. Well, you have to be in a mountain range, and I went through one of them when I went south to the Kenai Peninsula. That's how much of a bonehead I was on the last day I was there. At 12 o'clock, I left. Well, no, at 11, I left my hotel because I checked out on Wednesday. And I said, okay, I'm going to go to Homer, which was an experience in and of itself. I said, I can get there in 3 hours, 3.5 hours. Yeah, it was 4.5. But I got there. I saw the Time Bandit from Deadliest Catch. And I want to thank Mary Jo, who I met at the observation post, which was really awesome. She introduced herself to me. I now have a friend from Alaska. She was really cool. Someone who I just met. I wanted to tell her, I said, did I smell like a Southern Californian? She picked me out right then and there. I guess I did look like a tourist. There's no doubt. But it turns out that she was from Irvine. And it was really cool, where I asked her what if she had any regrets of leaving Southern California. And it was really cool. Her one regret was that she hadn't moved up there sooner. And I think that is bugging me. That is bugging me. And that one line affected me greatly. I don't know, folks. I don't know if I'm going to go up. I am going again. I don't know if I'm going this year per se because I have a lot of trips planned. But I'm definitely going up again next year. And I may do another April run. I don't know yet. But it was incredible.
And then there was that one live feed where you're like, that's not a cop. And wait, yeah, that's a cop. And then you just stop the live feed. I was like, was he getting pulled over? What happened? He left us all on a cliffhanger.
Oh, I know. Dude, I thought they had me dead to rights. I saw the city cops a little more often, Anchorage or Palmer or Wasilla. But the Alaska State Troopers, I only saw them 3 times. Once when I went out to the HARP facility, and I drove like 500 miles that day and only saw 1 state trooper. And then going down to the Kenai Peninsula, did not see any on my way down, but on my way back, I saw 2 of them. So it's crazy. So Aisha asked, so do I take that now you're thinking of moving to Alaska? I don't know. I don't know. I could still exist up in Alaska, but there are a lot of creature comforts, and there are not a lot of creature comforts. So I could make the adjustment, but I don't know about the cabin fever, about having to stay indoors for months at a time and not having sunlight, direct sunlight for months at a time. I don't know what that would do. I have to go up there in the deepest, darkest night of winter to see. And I'm probably going to try that one. But which might be later on this year. But I don't know. Look, in May, I'm going to the nation's capital. I'm already planning that trip. I'm going to meet up with one of my acquaintances that I've met in Florida, Georgia, and in Arizona. You know who he is, Michael Day. And I'm already making plans to visit him in May, probably around Memorial Day weekend. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing many of the baseball trips. I may have put that one off on a more of a long term. I was expecting to be done by 2025 or 2026, visiting all the stadiums. But that one, I know that has already changed. So I may make that one a little bit more long term. Yes, it's 6 daylight in 6 months, something like that. Yes. Now, right now, for those of you that saw, I posted images. They had sunlight at 10:30 at night while I was there. Wow. And I think that did throw me off. It wasn't the jet lag per se, because I've done 5.5 hours, but I only lost an hour both ways. So I adjusted fast. I think the last day I was stupid because I traveled almost 3,000 miles via train, via shuttle bus, via car, via plane. I walked. In 24 hours did 28, almost 3,000 miles. So that was not the brightest smart. I was on the move for 24 hours. That's hard on the body. It is. Because I sat for, well, hell, I sat for 4.5 hours, then another 4, 9.5 in the truck going down to the Homer, and obviously coming back, and then another 5 hours on the plane. It was hard on the body. It was difficult.
I would have slept the first 24 hours. That's what I would have done.
Well, when I got home, I was gone on Thursday. I remember being here on Thursday. So that's the best I can say right now. But I will bore everyone on a Monday night in the air, Monday Night America. I want to thank everyone who's watching us. I know Dreem was here shortly, and Speedy, thank you for joining me. I didn't know that you were not feeling well, but I'm glad you're back. Hopefully, the other guys will be joining us shortly. As they do, they love to make their grand entrances, so we'll see. And I'm not going to announce the news that Almighty may wish to announce today. I don't know. I'm not sure if he's going to be joining us, but very quickly, I'm going to go over it. For those of you that don't know, I struggled yesterday with the temperature. When it hit 55, 60, 65, I was sweating, man. It was hot. It was hot. And it was, I get it now while people say, it's 50 degrees and you're cold. I'm like, yeah, it's cold. And I was lucky. In all the days I was up there was very little bit of a breeze. And I remember there was one moment where I was outside. It was like 31 degrees. I'm like, this isn't so bad. And then a little breeze came by. I'm like, oh, mother of God.
Yes, you said that on video too. You're like, nothing.
Oh,
my God, look at that.
Oh my God. I didn't realize that was one of the moments. And yeah, let me tell you, when that breeze hits, I was like, hey, the weather isn't bad. And then it just gets everywhere. And I had the neoprene thermals, which I recommend them for everyone. They work real well. Thermals work, but I had the neoprene ones. And, well, screw it. When that breeze hit, whoa, I felt every bit. So it was something, folks. But like I say, I thank you for bearing with me this early in the morning. I don't know where this is going to take me, but I can't wait to see, because it did alter. As you know, I am also a geologist. I love the study of rocks, time, pressure. I study history. Cultural geography is one of my personal likes. So I was losing my shite. Okay. Uh, I was losing my shite over the structures. I identified several volcanoes, extinct volcanoes. Seeing the calderas up close, man, I was losing my mind. But
Yes, I know about that, Aisha. I read it last night.
I suppose I have not. I'm gonna have to take a look at it. So
Yeah.
I will see. But anyway, thank you, Aisha. I thank you for helping me out on that. I will have to check in a few moments. But anyway, folks, I know I'm very tardy, but I want to thank again everyone for joining. And here's the thing: it's 6:40 a.m. It would be 5:40 a.m. over there right now, which surprised me for the distance. I thought there was another time zone, but it's only one. So I was just an extra hour behind. So being on the West Coast, I'm behind on everything anyway. So what's an extra hour? So it was no problem. Uh, I want to get to my usual routine. Forgive me one moment. We're going to do that right now. Ladies and gentlemen, making everyone laugh. This is a hot day in Alaska. It's 52 degrees right now here in hell, Pomona, California. It's going to get to a high of 83. Wow. I may not like that. It's going to be 83 today, overnight low of 54. And wow. Yeah, that's crazy. We are at humidity. Oh, there was no humidity up there. Yeah, none. Wow. I should have checked the humidity level, and I didn't think of that. I acclimated fast. That's all I can say. I did like the cold weather. It was not as difficult. It was difficult being how old I am now. I don't know if I want to struggle with this, and I ain't getting younger, so I don't know. Pressure is 29.92 inches. Visibility is 9 miles, knowing the sun is not up yet. Oh, wait. No, I think the sun is up at 6:02 a.m. The wind is hitting the southeast at 1 mile per hour. The dew point is 47 degrees. And of course, at this hour, of course, the UV index is 0 of 10. And we are in a new moon phase. Today, very quickly in history, you may remember it. In 1993, tennis star Monica Seles was stabbed on court, for those of you that remember. She was stabbed by a deranged German man during a match in Hamburg. The assailant and fan of German tennis star Steffi Graf apparently hoped that by injuring Seles, his idol Graf would be able to regain her number one ranking. Seles became the youngest woman to win the French Open in 1990 when she defeated the number one ranked Steffi Graf in the finals. In 1991, Seles, a power player with the habit of grunting loudly, I remember that, during matches, replaced Graf as a top-ranked women's player. At the time of the 1993 attack, she had won 8 Grand Slam titles and was ranked number one in the world. On April 30th, 1993, Seles, who was then 19, was sitting on the courtside seat during a changeover to match against Magdalena Malieva at the Hamburg Open when the 38-year-old Gunter Parch leaned over a fence and stabbed her between the shoulder blades with a knife. Parche was quickly apprehended by security officials and Seles was taken to the hospital. She recovered from her physical injuries, but was left with deep emotional scars and didn't play again professionally for another 2 years. I do remember that vividly. And good morning, Rosalind from New York. Thank you for joining us. She says, oh, I don't know if you're aware, but Boris Becker was jailed for 2.5 years yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I am a bit lost. I did not see that. Boris Becker. My God. That's crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of news we have to catch up on. So.
Yeah, we will in a moment. And I do know that Almighty sent me a message about the letter that Major League Baseball sent to the Yankees about cheating. We'll get to that in a little bit. Don't get me wrong, folks. I am unhappy about it. I don't think it is. Look, I've never been a fan of cheating. I've talked about it. I say, hey, you know what? If the other team is stupid enough and you can read their signals, that's fair game. That's always been fair game. But as I've always said from the very beginning, you cannot use electronics. You cannot use the video monitors. You can't use anything. I know those rules. If I know those rules, every time you get the literati of the world, and that's the blogosphere, oh, well, it's not mentioned. Dude, you don't even know what the F you're talking about. And look, in the litigious environment that we are, signing a contract is the norm. And for someone to say, well, I didn't know, that's your fault. And in American legal system, ignorance of the law is no excuse. So for someone to say, I didn't know, I will admit that a lot of soccer players, when they go to Mexico, Speedy, they all test positive for steroids. because in Mexico, a lot of the meat has steroids injected in it, unfortunately. So that one is okay, I suppose. You can get away with that one, but other than that, it just you really can't, folks. And just saying, oh wow, it wasn't listed. For years we argued on the whole steroids thing. Well, it wasn't banned. Yes, it was. The rules were very clear. Illegal use of a banned substance, whether it's mentioned or not. And what was illegal? They were using steroids that had to be authorized by a doctor. And they did not have the authorization. That made it illegal, hence banned, hence they were cheating. It's very simple. There is no other argument. There's none. I have lost patience. I will say that. And again, I grow tired of that. If I remember this right, Mr. Becker got jailed for hiding $2.5 million after being declared bankrupt. Wow. I missed that story. We'll have to get to it right now. Go ahead and interrupt me at any time, Speedy, but I'm just going over some stuff very quickly. Remember, the AP Tour, or the APV, is coming back on May 6th. So next weekend, we're going to have the Austin Open. And then, of course, they go to New Orleans at the end of the month during Memorial Day weekend. Muskegee Open in June. Check it out. It's at avp.com. And very quickly in the land down under, in round 8 in the Telstra Premiership on the 28th, the Broncos 16 over the Sharks. Panthers 18-4 over the Titans. The Sea Eagles drubbed 40-22 by the Rabbitohs. The Warriors edged the Raiders 21-20. Come on, Raiders. Doesn't matter where you are. The Bulldogs took it to the Roosters 16-12, and the Cowboys shockingly took it to the Eels 35-4. And we won't go over their standings, but that's just a quick look down under. In the PGA, on the leaderboard, in the PGA Tour, we'll do the LPGA in a moment. They are playing in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, April 28th through May 1st. It's the Mexico Championship, and right now, John Ram is minus 12 at 130, followed by Alex Smalley at minus 10. And then you have tied for third, Adam Long, Andrew Novak, Cameron Champ, Patrick Reed, Trey Mullinix, Brandon Hagee, Scott. Oh, yeah. Those guys are minus 9 at 133. And then Brown, Kitayama, Rye, Riley, Bird, Liviota, Patrick Royers with the D are all tied for 15th at minus 7. And I'm sorry, minus 8 at 134. Patrick Rogers is tied for 15th with a whole bunch of other people. So, yes, they're trading their good mornings this morning. We're not going to take a look at the MSL right now, but Speed, what do you want to get to? Because we have some significant to talk about.
I have some significant news from last week, but this is an audio format. Check this out. And it's probably not good, especially if your name is Aaron Hernandez or the likes of him.
Braves are beating the Padres by 3. This is the final out of the top of the 9th inning. 2 minutes and 5 seconds will be put on the clock to run to commercial to warm up. There's Kenley Jansen. He's going to come in for the save. So we go to commercial, and here's the rule. MLB has instituted times of 2 minutes and 5 seconds for local broadcasts. As of 2018, the umpire's signal for the final warm-up pitch comes at the 25-second mark, and the pitcher must throw it before the clock hits 20. The batter is also announced at the 20-second mark, and the pitcher must begin his wind-up to throw the first pitch of the inning with 5 seconds before the clock hits 0. Now, in between innings from this blimp shot, you can zoom in and see the umpires on the mound with Kenley checking his fingers for sticky stuff. Now, with the closers, they do that before the inning starts because it's pointless to do it after the inning because the game is over. All right, so now he gets checked for sticky stuff. He throws his warm-up, throws a fastball there, and the umpire says, you get one more. He says, no, I want 2 more. And he says, no, you only get 1 more. And he says, no, I'm going to throw 2 more. And he says, no, you're done. You're done. I can't do anything. Turns to the catcher. He says, no, I'm going to throw 2 more. This one's going to be a curveball. So there you go. And I'm guessing he wants to end his warm-ups on a fastball. So he wanted 2 more. That's his routine. Says, nah, steps in front of Kenley and is like, nah, I can't let you throw this. Kenley is looking at what the fuck is that? What's going on? What is that? Dude, that's not cool. So he's going to walk up and have a chat with him. Umpire's name is Bill Miller, and you can see him say, Bill, come on, man. Totally uncool. Now the umpire, he turns to him and he says, you have 5 minutes, and you threw your first pitch with 40 seconds. And I don't know why I think 5 minutes is an exaggeration, because he knows the rule. He's got 2 minutes. Kenley's going to respond to him. He's going to say, but Bill, you never called time. And now Snit comes, okay, Bill. Hey, Bill, that's not what matters there. Whenever a closer comes in, enough. And his point is, like, the pace of play, we got to the 9th inning, the closer's in. You can't rush the closer. It's a very important part of the job, very important inning. And that's kind of his first point. And the ump's going to respond. And he's going to say, I know, but. And the Kenley's going to say, you can't do that. That's my routine. I'm just doing whatever it is you guys tell me. No way. No way. But you guys stopped him too. Something like, I know you guys got to check his fingers. I know, but he's got to be able to pitch. Check him after the game. And says, it's not us. This is not my rule. I don't know. So it's a pretty valid point. Kenley's like, hey, Manny, get behind the plate. Now the umpire says, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. Don't you throw a pitch. Pretty fair point by Kenley. Like, if you got to check my fingers on the mound before I throw my warm-ups, then you have to grant me more time when I throw my warm-ups.
Yes.
Well,
by the way, who is that? I know that guy who's actually very famous. I forget the name of the video guy. What is his name?
John Boy.
John Boy, yes. Folks, that guy's an incredible lip reader.
Yeah.
He's really good. And he's been doing the baseball ones for a long time. I am a fan of John Boy Media. He's good at what he does. And so I knew what it was. Maybe Speedy can give us a link to that so other people can watch and understand that it was a video and he was commenting about the events. But go ahead, Speedy. Please continue on that.
Yeah, because also the whole, and then I guess there's another video he did where Angel Hernandez is that umpire. I'm like, oh my god. And he's going through the whole phase about Aaron Hernandez because we all know Aaron Hernandez has been one of baseball's either greatest or worst mistakes in baseball history, because he did a video from last Friday, where Aaron Hernandez was like, that's a strike, and that's a strike, that's a strike too. And John Boy is like, no, these are just in-turn pitches. These are not strikes. He's been in the game long enough to know what a strike is, and now he's one of the officials? Who made this rule? And I'm like, you do have a valid point, because I don't know who made him an official.
Aaron Hernandez I'm not a fan of Aaron Hernandez. I don't, look, I know he's got tenure. I just don't think he's a very good ump. It's my opinion. I think Angel Hernandez, and he's been right in the middle of a lot of bad calls, folks. Look up Aaron Hernandez bad calls. The videos will bore you to death. It's just, it just is what it is. But the umpire, Bob, look, the umpires aren't what they were before. And what I mean is, remember, Major League Baseball was divvied up into the American League and the National League. They had their own league presidents, and they operated independently of the commissioner's office. The commissioner was over them, but they were independent leagues, figuratively and literally. So the umpires were part of each league. So it was, again, a whole different structure, and you could have individuals back then. Umpires were respected, but the umpires acted like adults, not like some of the kids that they are today. So they were able to be their own persons, for lack of a better word. Now, when the World Baseball League was formed, due to that mass strike, and Major League Baseball took control of the owners of the umpires union. They are arbiters only. They are not bigger than the game. They cannot be bigger than the game. They are arbiters. The stars are the players, and that's it. So the umpires are, even though they're primary arbiters, they are secondary to the players clearly. And the umpires who have always been enforcers, that's all they can do. They can't be bigger than the game. They can't be bigger than the players. So they have to follow the rules. And this umpire, as I understand it, just misinterpreted what was to be done. Folks, I've turned into a baseball game, and they're still doing the warm-ups. It's not that big of a deal. So you get the warm-up out of the way. The pitcher has to get the warm-up. That's it. It has to be. And usually they get 5 or 6 pitches. And if a reliever comes in after just warming up, I understand they get fewer pitches, but they have to get a minimum. And if you're checking him for illegal substances, you still have to give him a chance to do his warm-ups on the mound. So I believe that the umpire was out of line. Folks, you should be able to take the initiative and adjust. Whatever the rules say, you have to follow them. But when you add something in and it throws the whole mechanism out of whack, dude, it's just, come on, just let it go. I've been involved in situations just like that, Speedy, where people get into a pissing match. And it's bad. It's just, come on. We're talking one blasted pitch. Look, I am no fan of Kenley Jansen, but I cannot believe that you want to risk a pitcher getting hurt. It's one damn pitch. Why are we even wasting time on that?
Well, see, and that's the thing that when you said, why are we wasting time, that's what came to me when I saw this last week. And, like I said earlier, I was prepared to share the audio clip, but I was fortunately I'm sick that day. I've been out this whole week, but, I'm back today. But that's what came to me is, why are they doing this? The home plate umpire is Bill Miller, baseball's, former greatest announcer of all time, and now he's an umpire too. And that's why the Orioles coach was like, no. It's the ninth inning. This is the closing pitch. This is the end of the game. Who cares? And then Bill Miller just looked at him and, he goes, hey, come on, coach. It's not me. I'm not the one making the rules. And he goes, no, you're making them up on the fly. He's got 5.5 minutes, not 2 minutes. I don't know where you got 2 minutes from, but that is not in the rule book. That is clearly not in the rule book. And Kim was like, yeah, what the hell, man? I get more time. You're messing up my routine. So it's like you said, why are we wasting time on this when it's the ninth inning? Let him do his warm up.
Look. I understand the umpires. I do have sympathy towards them because the baseball players are prima donnas in every which way. They know that they are the stars, and they generally get their way. There are rules. The rules have to be followed. And if you're following the rules, great. But if you add time and you take away from his warm-ups, you are risking player injury. Look, I think they're well-coddled baseball players. Oh, my God. But you have to give them a chance to loosen up on the mound. 2 pitches minimum? Wow. That's it? I'm like, okay, I know he took 5 minutes to warm up. I get that. But you still have to get a feel for the mound. 1 pitch is not enough. If you don't throw a certain amount of pitches to get used to it, you risk injury. Oh, my God, I'm actually defending the baseball players on this one. But, yeah, I believe the umpire got it wrong. I don't know what has happened because, again, I've been gone for effectively 10 days, folks. So I have missed some of these stories. I apologize. But, Speedy, tell me, was the umpire right? Was he wrong? I mean, what? What is your opinion on that?
I think he was wrong because he's over here trying to add 2 minutes when they've got 5 to 10 minutes to warm up. And the umpire, it's in the video, the umpire, Bill Miller, actually gets in front of between him and the catcher. And he goes, no, you're not getting any more warm up. That's when Kinley actually walked up there and went, what are you doing? This is my routine. You didn't even call time. Come on, Bill. You know the time up there that's up there displayed for us as pitchers? He goes, no. I'm not the one making the rules. And he told the Orioles coach the same thing. I'm not the one making the rules. I think you are, Bill. I think you are.
Wow. I do want to see the video myself, and I am going to be checking it out shortly. But just on what I heard, the umpire just, I think he got it wrong in this one. Again, no fan of Kenley Jansen, but you are risking injury, and you just cannot risk the injury. There are ramifications. Aisha's asking sticky stuff. Dare I ask what it is? The sticky stuff right now is known as spider tack. It is the substance that they use so that pitchers can get a better grip. Folks, pitchers are pussies. Forgive me. But they say, oh, well, we need the grip so we can save lives. So what are you talking about? A better grip allows you to do stuff to the ball, not control it. Well, control it better, yes, so you can throw some nasty stuff. But if the pitch is going to get away, the pitch is going to get away because they use sticky stuff and the pitches still get away. So don't use the crap or the line that, well, I'm using it because you're risking the lives of the batter. Come on, folks. The games have been played for over 150 years. Shut up. Don't want to hear it. It's like, come on, grow up. But the sticky stuff is the substances that the pitchers use to get a better grip. It's been in the rule book. You cannot use it. It's done. There's a reason. Because if you use sticky stuff, you can get an unfair advantage. Look at what they've been talking about, revolutions per second or whatever, or the spin rate. The better the spin rate, you can get a better grip and just snap that ball off. You see, that's the pitcher in me talking. So you want to, the better grip you can, to snap the ball off. The more it spins, the better the pitch is. And I don't have my baseball with me right now. Oh, there it is. It's just the one that I use just for, it's a official league Rawlings. But look, you use the seams to get a grip on the ball. But if you're able to use something that allows you to get a better grip, folks, try to throw a tennis ball. You don't just lob it. You get, you get it in there and you throw it. The same thing applies to a baseball. The better grip you can get, the more you can do with it. Now, there's the inverse of that, where if you use a slick substance, again, you can do other things with it. Some people have famously, the spitball is outlawed. Why is it outlawed? Because if you put a substance on the ball, you can do some amazing, outlandish, and otherworldly things to it. There's a reason why. In the same manner that steroids are illegal, putting a substance on a ball is illegal. It's in the rules. Well, they say that they've been allowing it. It's in the rule book. If some guy's cheating, and I know he's cheating, teacher, he's cheating. Come on. Look, come on, folks. So the spider tack is the gentleman that we spoke about a little while ago. He famously said, well, you can use the powder, and you folks, I lost my mind on it because he said he famously had the ball and he said, see, Commissioner Baseball, it has an adhesive substance. And as I told everyone, that is not the property of the rosin bag that's on the mound. See, he was saying, hey, we can use rosin with your sweat. It's already a stickum. Dude, you're okay. I'm not going to say it now because he's waging war against Major League Baseball, having been suspended for 324 games. He's not a favorite of baseball. This 2-year suspension is unreal. I felt he was going to get suspended, but I didn't think he was going to get suspended for 2 years. Baseball has it in for Bauer. So there's a little bit of sympathy because I had to endure the same thing. Once you are in the crosshairs, they're messing with your livelihood. And, come on, folks. You really don't want to do that. But Mr. Bauer has said a lot of things against baseball. He's ripped teammates. He's ripped the commissioner. And he, on TV, showed up baseball by using a substance saying, this is what rosin does. And I was one of the first. And as far as I know, no one else called him out on it. I said, that is not what rosin does. It doesn't do that. And I challenged everyone and anyone to prove me wrong. And no one did. I'm going to do a video. I have a rosin bag in one of my, it's a powdery substance, folks. It's, this is, you've seen pitchers when they're on the mound. They have a rosin bag, which you see them, they kind of throw it up and then it hits their wrist. And then they, do it again. And then they have the rosin bag hit their bottom of the wrist. What the rosin does is it keeps the perspiration from running down into your hand area for two reasons. The sweat, whereas it could be used as a competitive advantage, it also messes it makes you feel uncomfortable. So you use rosin to keep your hands dry, and then you get the the spit or whatever from somewhere else. But when you're perspiring, now if you mix it with other substances, rosin, your perspiration, and other stuff, it becomes sticky. But rosin on its own, folks, I'm 53 years old. I have thrown for 40 years, and it doesn't do that. It just doesn't do. Go on a mound, damn it. Get a rosin bag. Come on. So he got in trouble when he did that. And spider attack is very common. Major League Baseball is now investigating pitchers during the games in the half innings, right? Or at the end of an inning. They're like, all right, let me see your glove. Let's see if you have anything. So Major League Baseball is going after that. And now they're saying, well, Kenley Jansen, why didn't you check him after the inning? Well, it kind of defeats the purpose if you're in the ninth inning.
Yeah.
So you get him before. He still should have been allowed to throw his pitches. And I'm sorry that I went over on this. So basically, second-rate pitchers will use the sticky stuff, whereas good pitchers don't need to use it. Is that right? Oh, no.
No, they use it too.
Yeah, they use it too. See, I on my high school baseball team, folks, I was good at it. Look, it takes one to know one, right? I knew how to cheat. I knew how to cheat because I didn't throw 95 miles an hour. I was asleep that day when the Almighty blessed the arms. I was out screwing around looking at rocks, so I missed that day. So I had to throw every other pitch conceivable. If you could think it, chances are I threw it because it was survival. So umpires aren't that sharp sometimes. So you can get away with using a substance. It's disgusting. But you can use your own perspiration. You can use saliva. You can use other stuff to try to get a grip. Am I talking about cheating? Oh, good God, yes. I was, as I tell everyone, I was the 9th man on our 8-man pitching staff in high school. All right. I'm gonna whip out the yearbook, and I'm gonna show you guys an image of me as a freshman in high school, folks. So I'll be right back. It's right here. I'm gonna scare everyone because I have the image.
God. I think he really is going to scare everyone. Ladies and gentlemen in the chat room, all I can say is be prepared. Be prepared.
I'm gonna find it. Oh, there it is. Oh my God. This is the first time I'm actually going to do this. So look, check it out.
I don't even know if I'm prepared.
All right, folks. Can you pick out Scorekeeper in that image? There he is. There he is. That's Scorekeeper. That's Roger. That is the lanky, side-arming submarine pitcher as a freshman. That's me. So,
Wow.
How many pitchers do we have on the team? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. You see, I exaggerate. We had 7 pitchers when I was a freshman in high school. But I've always joked that I was the 8th of the 9th because there were a few other guys on the team that weren't exactly pitchers, but they would pitch in the high school games. I was fortunate, folks. I was able to play some high school ball. It was a very small school. The student body was about 160 total. It was a very small school. So I was fortunate. I was the last man on everything. I got into more games as a pinch runner or defensive replacement than I did in pitching. So what does that tell you? It's high school. It's different. I'm eternally grateful for the few chances that I had to play. And, hey, I was 1-0 with 4 saves and a 1.75 ERA. Folks, check this out. My one win came on the worst pitch I ever threw in my life. It was runners in second and third. I threw a screwball. The guy yanked it off the wall. I gave up the 1-run lead and gave the opposition lead, but the batter got greedy. They threw him out. I think it was at third. They threw him out at the third. Ended the inning. I came in with the 1-run lead. I exited now behind 1 run, and my team went on to score like 12, 13 runs. So I was the pitcher of record. So I got the win. Hey, I'm all right with that. No, I actually no. Okay, very very good. No, and what I didn't make clear was I didn't get into too many games, folks. I just gave you my stat line for 4 years. I didn't get into too many. I was a middle guy, and then I got into many other games as a batter, pinch runner, whatever. I actually got into quite a few games as a pinch runner, which was really funny. But anyway, high school rules. Come on. So anyway, I actually did not cheat during the games, but I knew how because, as I said, during batting practice. Well, I didn't say during batting practice, but when I had to get anything I could to get into the games. I knew better about cheating on the mound. Did I actually do it to prove a point? I told my teammates, check this out. I'm going to cheat on the third pitch, and you guys aren't going to even see it. And yes, I did put as a freshman, I was a coach, folks, and I was teaching my own teammates how to spot cheaters. So I had to prove a point. So in one game, there was a substance on the ball, and I put it on there to prove a point. And I think it was a ball, so it didn't make a difference. But my entire team, come on, how hard is this? And they couldn't see me do it. So I had to prove to them how I did it. So I could pick out cheaters from the other teams. I knew when pitchers were cheating. It's not that difficult. Being one, I know when they are. So I've gone on way too much on that. I think the umpire was wrong, and I got to check out the video to see what else happened. So, I was a third-rate pitcher, Aisha, so I need to make that clear. I was a third-rate. So there were 2 seniors on our team, if I'm not mistaken, that were drafted, or scouts did come to see. Oh, it's so funny as a freshman. Said, we're going to have a scout in. I think it was from the Baltimore Orioles. And everyone was like, woo, woo, woo. And I was excited about it as a freshman. And someone told me, yeah, Raj, they're not looking at you. And sure enough, they weren't looking at me because I didn't get into the game. But there was an Orioles scout there, and I forget who else. But 2 of our seniors were drafted to play in the minor leagues, which is really kind of cool. So, yeah. And I did play against some high schoolers that did pitch. That actually played in the major leagues, which was really kind of neat. So, yeah. Javier Lopez, one of our players, hit a home run off a guy that made it into the major leagues, which was really kind of neat. And we were sophomores that year. I'm not going to tell any more of the joke, but Javier homered, and he just cranked it. It was obvious it went over the fence, but we were at their visiting club. I think it was Providence High School. Oh, and I'll tell you who the Major League Baseball player was in a moment because I don't remember his name right now. He was with the Milwaukee Brewers, and I think he was their third base or shortstop. He was an infielder. He came up as a pitcher, but he was talented. He was an infielder. And he played in the late 80s, early 90s. And he came to Dodger Stadium one time, and I remember big, tall kid. And he had talent. So Javier hit the home run off of him, and the ump said it was a ground rule double. We're like, dude, where are you? Who are you? It was obvious home run, but they cheated him out of it, and it was really unfair. You had a bunch of kids coming from the Vadio, San Fernando, and to actually hit a home run off him. Even then, it was, that's not possible. Yeah, he hit it out. Our coach, Tom Cody, got thrown out of the game because it was such a bad call. It was a bad call, man. Javier hammered that pitch, but whatever.
And then, also last weekend, I don't remember what day. Did you leave on Thursday last week, or did you leave on Friday?
No, I left Wednesday evening. I was on my plane at 7:20 p.m. Pacific time.
This happened last Friday. New York Yankees fans were throwing debris and garbage at Cleveland Guardians outfielders after the game in an incident that hopefully never happens again. As one ESPN reporter said, fans in the right field bleachers pelted Cleveland Guardians outfielder with bottles, cans, and debris in a chaotic scene moments after Isaiah Farah and pinch hitter Gabriel Torres notched run-scoring hits with 2 outs in the ninth inning to lift the New York Yankees to a 6-5 victory that happened on Saturday. Rather than celebrating, though, Aaron Judge and Yankees teammates rushed toward the wall in right center field trying to calm the crowd down, and security even joined the efforts to try to calm the New York crowd down. Then Cleveland closer Emmanuel Chase was 1 strike away from reversing a 5-4 lead when Farah hit a 100-mile fastball for a tying double. Rookie left fielder Stephen Kwan ran hard into the wall, chasing the ball and was shaken up after a trainer came to check him out. Before the play resumed, Cleveland right field player Oscar Mandera pointed at the stands, and center fielder Miles Straw climbed the chain link fence and left to confront at least one fan face-to-face, while another fan made a derogatory gesture. This was just brutal, Straw said in his post-game availability. Worst fan base on the planet right now. Cleveland manager Terry Francona acknowledged that the Guardians were a little emotional at the end of the game, which wasn't as pregnant as Straw, but equally as disappointed. The scorekeepers were again disappointed. I don't think people can throw stuff at our players on the field, he said. That's not okay, ever. Torres followed by a single line straight center for the game winner. As Murcielago and Straw chased the ball in the gap, several fans started throwing objects at them. Obviously, there's no place for throwing stuff on the field. In that situation, Yankees manager Aaron Bodenholzer said, "I'll get more clarity on it later, but obviously we certainly don't want to put anyone in danger." Yankees players who first ran to meet Torres on the base path in celebration then ran to the outfield to quell the disturbance. I don't know what was going on, but that can't happen. Farah said in his first season with the Yankees. I love the atmosphere. I love the fans. I love everything about them. But we have to win with class here. The Yankees won for the 4th time in 5 games and recorded their second walk-off win following a rare bullpen meltdown. Chad Green called a 2-run homer to Austin Hedges with 2 outs in the 8th that put Cleveland ahead 4-3. Miguel Castro tossed the scoreless 9th to pick up the victory. And again, Boone said, "We love the intensity, but throwing things at us, you can't do that. And we cannot be having stuff out on the field anyways." So this kind of scorekeeper ruins their moment, ruins a guy who just hit the most magnetic play ever to win the game. There's video of this everywhere where he's coming around and the only one that's giving him a high five are, well, the catcher and the three guys in the dugouts, because everybody else went to go join in the little parade with these fans who were just throwing bottles and glass bottles and everything else they could get their hands on at all these other players. And he's like, you ruined my celebration moment. So I'm like, well, that's messed up.
I did see some of the images, and I am terribly disappointed by it. But I did receive some harsh commentary about, me and Yankee fans in general. And when you look at the incident, and I did see it briefly, folks, one fan got into it with the player, and then another one did, and then a whole bunch of others threw it onto the field. But they were trying to hit the player. There was no doubt. It is uncalled for. I believe that they should have been ejected, if not charged, for throwing objects at players. I don't understand why you would equate me with being that. I am a Yankee fan, but I don't do that stuff. And I'm against that stuff. And Yankee fans are famous for being stupid. There's no doubt. They are vilely committed to their teams, but it is uncalled for. And I don't have to say anything other than they're Yankee fans. Look, it's the Bronx Zoo, man. I'm not saying that you should risk your life. The fans were stupid, but there are rules. The players are not to engage with the fans. You can't, because look at what happens when you do. So it's obvious what happened. Yankee fans were out of line, should have been charged, should have been ejected, and there should be some harsh penalties on that. And don't tell me that you cannot get the information as to who the fans are. If you bought a Major League Baseball ticket, they know who sits where. A Big Brother in Major League Baseball exists. Don't tell me that you cannot find out who it is. So, my opinion is the fans were out of line. They should have been charged for throwing objects at the players. So, I don't condone it. I'm not for it. And again, just because you have those idiots that are look at everyone else that was in the fence. How many people threw stuff onto the field? There's several hundred people in that little area. It was under 20. I'm not trying to minimize it. I'm saying do the math. Think about it. There are animals out there. I know it. You know it. Hey, charge the animals. We have video cameras. Come on. Let's not make this harder than it should be. Speedy?
Yeah, and I don't understand either why in that present time, when you have extra security guards in the stands, along with police officers, we've seen this before where we're like, okay, you, and you're out of here, let's go. They just stood there. As everyone is throwing stuff at the players, mainly because one player was getting checked on, and he did have a brace over his eyeball, and they were like, you're all cut and bleedy. That's what you get. I'm like, no, come on. That's classless right there.
Yeah, it's classless. It's animalistic. The level of jackassity is just beyond the pale, folks. It is. I just posted his link in the chat room. The players, and folks, I have nothing against this guy. The guy was major league talent. He stuck around for some years. He was a good player. And hell, I wish I could have been him, but his name is Jeff Cirillo. He played third base and first base, and I put the link up there. And he did, folks, it's right there. Providence High School, North Hollywood. I got the school right. I knew it was. And he finished his career batting .296. he had 5,396 at bats. Folks, I never took a shot at Jeff Cirillo. I said he was talented. I said he was a big kid. He was 6'2", folks. 6'2", man. That's a big kid. And he had the talent. He was a pitcher. And look, if I would have been on his side and the guy hits a home run off me and then the ump calls it a 2-run double, or he calls it a double, I'm like, hey, ump, you got that call wrong. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So I have nothing against him. So, where was security? Yeah. As of late, I don't know where it is. Security should have been there much quicker. I've commented about under the Walter O'Malley ownership of the Dodgers, security was wow. When the whole thing happened in Chicago in the 80s and 90s, when the Cub fans attacked the Dodger players and stuff, where was security? They were nowhere to be found. I remember going to Dodger Stadium in the 80s and 90s under the O'Malleys, where the slightest you had security there. It was a different game. When Fox purchased them, the atmosphere changed. And then now with the new agents, I don't know. I think Dodger Stadium is just difficult to get in and out of. It used to be one of the easiest stadiums to get in and out of. People argue with me that has never been true. Say, well, it's not my fault you don't know how to get into the stadium. You come in the main entrance. Pendejos. You don't do that. There used to be 6 entryways into Dodger Stadium using your car. And to be neighborly, they killed off one street. And then you had the parking lot attendant, McCourt, who thought that he could do the parking lot better, and he screwed things up. I used to come in through Solano, the backside by the police academy, and I could, if game time was 7:35, I could leave my house in Commerce at 6:30 and be in my seat. 7 o'clock, and I'd be in my seat by 7:35. Wasn't that difficult. I always got in on time. And when the game ended, we walked right to our cars, the parking lot, where they do the fireworks displays now, and where the players park their cars now, bastards. We used to park right there, and we'd be out of the stadium in under 10 minutes on any game, whether it be a Sunday, weeknight, whatever. I knew. It wasn't that big of a deal. Everyone who parked there knew. But, of course, Frank McCourt had to screw things up. Bastard. But anyway, Jeff Cirillo debuted in 1994 at age 24, and he left in 2007. And it was cool. It was cool being able to see him when he would visit as a Brewer, then later as a Rocky and a few other teams. And I was like, I played against that guy. It was kind of neat. So I held no animosity towards him. The ump was stupid, man. It was a bad call, man. It was a bad call. And our coach just lost his mind, and he got thrown out of the game. That was funny, man. I look back, there's more to it, but those are the memories I was fortunate to have. Our coach had to go sit in the bus. He was seething, man. It was hilarious. But those are some of the experiences I had, and I was really fortunate. So I do apologize. I'm all over the place. Bauer got suspended. Dude, 324 games. I'm sorry?
That's terrible.
Yeah. 2 years. Now, I heard that there was another accusation that just came forward, and that one did surprise me. But in the news, Trevor Bauer has been suspended for 324 games, pending appeal, of course. And there's a link in the chat room right now, and I'm going to send it to Speedy as well. And this is a big deal, folks. So now you'll have to page down a little bit because it's also the article on the Yankees cheating. So it's there as well. But Trevor Bauer is suspended for 2 years. Major League Baseball announced a 324-game suspension for Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher Trevor Bauer on Friday, the equivalent of 2 full seasons and by far the most severe punishment handed out under the sport's domestic violence policy. Bauer promptly released a statement announcing that he was appealing the suspension, thus becoming the first player to contest punishment through Major League Baseball's domestic violence policy. In the strongest possible terms, I deny committing any violation of the league's domestic violence and sexual assault policy, Bauer's statement read. I'm appealing this action and expect to prevail. As we have throughout this process, my representatives and I respect the confidentiality of the proceedings. Bauer, who's now 31, was accused of sexual assault by a San Diego woman who requested a restraining order and essentially alleged that he took consensual rough sex too far over the course of 2 encounters last April and May. An LA judge denied the woman a permanent restraining order in August, and the LA County District Attorney's Office declined to file criminal charges in February. But Major League Baseball has the autonomy to suspend players without a criminal conviction, and spoke to other women who have also said they've been assaulted by Bauer. Hours after the suspension was announced, the Washington Post published an interview with a woman from Columbus, Ohio, who accused the pitcher of choking her unconscious without her consent dozens of times during their years-long sexual relationship. Okay, folks. Okay. Stop right there. Dozens of times. What the hell are you doing remaining in the relationship? But okay. That's a male perspective. Very stupid perspective, but I think a valid one. Say, okay, you're claiming it happened so many times. Why did you remain there? Without filing. So, but okay, we'll see. She is the third known woman to accuse Bauer of sexual assault. The Post reported that she spoke with Major League Baseball as part of its investigation into Bauer's conduct before the league issued its discipline. Bauer strongly denied those allegations through his social media account. You have to remember, folks, they're allegations. He wasn't charged. That means, since there were no charges, he was not charged. Duh. I'm deliberately repeating it because you need to understand the context. They felt that there was not enough to charge. So it works both ways. There was no evidence or there was not sufficient evidence. Take it as you will. Bauer joined the Dodgers on a 3-year, $102 million contract in February of 2021 on the heels of winning the National League Cy Young Award during the COVID-19 shortened 2020 season. So Bauer's suspension, if it holds through the appeal process, would last until the 19th game of the 2024 season. The Dodgers would save $28 million plus that remains on his contract in 2022 and the full $32 million of his contract in 2023. Wow. Bauer was immediately placed on the restricted list and can't be around the team, even with the grievance hearing pending. Yes, the Dodgers are not allowed to release Bauer until after his suspension ends. Major League Baseball announced the suspension with a short statement that did not provide details of its findings, adding, in accordance with the terms of the policy, the commissioner's office will not issue any further statements at this point in time. Wow. That's quite a bit. That is crazy. Bauer, as it stands right now, is the 16th player suspended since August of 2015 when Major League Baseball and the Major League Baseball Players Association unveiled their joint domestic violence, sexual assault, and child abuse policy, which grants MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred the autonomy to suspend players under just cause. The prior suspensions, not counting that of former reliever Felipe Vasquez, who is serving a jail sentence for sexual assault of a 13-year-old, have ranged from 15 to 162 games and were the result of negotiated settlements in which players waived their right to appeal. So, wow. That's crazy. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Speedy, I was stunned by that.
Yeah, it's a lot of stunning information. And like you said, wasn't a 2-year suspension basically to end his career?
He'll be 33 when he comes back. I mean, if he still throws 95, 96, someone may give him a chance. But if this holds, Bauer's basically done. This is a harsh prison sentence. It is a prison sentence. in Major League Base in athletic terms. He's 31. Look, again, I have to put a quick disclaimer. We are no fans of Bauer. I've never been a fan of his attitude. I've never been a fan of his commentary. He's very active on social media. He has a lot of followers. I just don't like the things that he has said and the way he has said it. That's my opinion. I don't like the guy. I don't like him as a teammate and whatever. But he's a Major League Baseball player. He does things that are unorthodox, so he pisses off baseball, and he's real good at doing that. So, look, he does exercises that are against baseball thinking, and he's done well. I don't like the fact that he uses spider tack, or substances about that. But he has called out Major League Baseball in the past, so there's a very contentious relationship there, and I just think 2 years is ridiculous, and I cannot believe I guess I'm taking his side. It just 2 years is that's almost a death sentence. Do you think, Speedy?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's hard to say, but I think he should have at least gotten maybe 4.5, maybe 5 years.
Oh, you think it should even be more?
Even though, like you said, he wasn't charged. But, I mean, let's break this guy to the cold here. I think.
Look, I since there were no charges, actually, well, okay, you got to look at the American system, the way it works. So, I think 2 years is too much. It's too much, folks, in my humble opinion. And the humble opinion is, number one, yes, he wasn't charged. That's a significant thing. Look, I lost my mind for the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers that were suspended for 4 games. That was never charged. And his was completely different. Well, there's no such thing as the same. So for me to say it was completely different was stupid. So I acknowledge that. I'm sorry. But look at the circumstances. He got 4 games. He was never charged. So the pitcher from the Yankees, I know his name is Jermaine something or other. I think he got a year off. And the girlfriend recanted. So he was never charged. And yet he got a year off. So I know the Major League Baseball player who was with the Angels, the reliever, and then went to the Brewers, had a situation where I think he hit the father-in-law, or he got into a scuffle with the father-in-law, and he got suspended as well. So, wow, 2 years. So you think it should be more, Speedy? Really?
Yeah, that's just the way I'm feeling right now, though. I mean, that could change. But you're right. I think 2 years is enough.
My opinion is I just think it's too much. So you say, well, what is enough? 2 years is too much. That's all I'm going to say. It's the shop steward in me is like, this is crazy. So let me see. Isn't the fact that he hasn't been charged mean there is doubt about the implication stated? Yes. So even if you don't like the guy, he's innocent until proven guilty? Yes. That's why I've said my comments are tinged with the fact that I do not care for the player. I think that we have treated him professionally, not respectfully, ever since he got accused. We've shared our opinions, and we've always put the disclaimer in there. We don't like the guy. We don't. I have beef with him because of things that he has said in the past. But he's a Major League Baseball player. My opinion matters nothing. So I do agree. Okay, Aisha, I did say that under the rules of Major League Baseball, whether he's guilty or not, you're making Major League Baseball look bad. And my argument was, and under the ethics and the morality clause in the contracts that you sign, you cannot make your team or the sport look bad. There are guys that are going to be sending me emails and saying, what are you doing? What are you talking about? Look at what he did. He's a guy. Like, yes, and I'm disgusted by it. If everything is true, I'm not going to get into the details again. Dude, okay, for the girl as well. Okay, I understand that they're into what they did. So that's anathema to me. I don't understand how you have to get into that stuff to enjoy another person's company. I don't get that stuff, and I never will. But it makes Major League Baseball look bad. And under the rules, you're endangering the game, the league, the team, everything. It's in the contract. You can't do that. So, folks, yes, false accusation. Based on that logic, people can accuse players of stuff. Yes, let's look at the history of how many players have been accused in the last 10 years. How many players have been accused of similar instances? 15. I think it was in the article. 15 since 2015.
That's a lot.
Or when you look at how many were substantiated and how many actually agreed, of all those players, 14 of them waived their rights. So they admitted to some sort of culpability. So what I put to you is there are 25 active players on a roster. Times 30. That's 750. Times 7. That's 5,250 player years. Okay? 15 over the same number of years. It doesn't even measure as 1%. Take those numbers as you want. Aisha, what do you say? It only takes one person who has a grudge could bring this down on someone. Not that I'm defending him, but I don't agree with mob convictions. And nor do I. I mentioned in the past that I can see Major League Baseball dropping a bomb on him because of his past discretions against the game. So this is a harsh penalty. And I believe a lot of it has to do with his contentious relationship with baseball. And then he gets himself in this situation. Folks, you did! He got himself in this situation. I believe the big dog in the past answered me by saying, but this was done in the privacy. You know what, dude? Obviously it was. It made the news. Don't get in yourself in situations like that. Hey, don't get into situations like that. Yes, that's a holier than thou attitude. But that's who I am, and that's what I am. So, all right. Speedy, did you have any other comments on that one?
No, I did not. But I mean, hey, there was a lot in baseball, especially with last week. The Mets and Cardinals pensions were cleared. And believe it or not, Sweet Chin Music actually took place to Nolan Cardinal, Arlenio, I think, at the New York Mets game also last week. The Cardinals were like, wait, what did we just watch? Are we watching baseball or are we watching wrestling? And, of course, many fans that were there were like, oh, Sweet Chin Music, we know what that is, because they're wrestling fans. Then a Cardinals reliever actually hopped the outfield fence in their game to join an awesome fight in a video last week too. Of course, that's what the internet claims, that it's an awesome fight. Look that one up for yourself. Cardinals reliever hopped outfield fence to join the fight.
Yeah.
It might have been awesome, but I don't know. Judge that for yourself.
Yeah, that's a story that I have to catch up on because I know what happened. Like I said, I was traveling, folks, and I genuinely did avoid the news. So, folks, appreciate it. Raul, we got a like on Sports Talk with the Guys. Thank you. And I'm not sure I mentioned, we already had some other likes. Oh, good morning, Tanya. Thank you for the like. Rosalind, Tony, Aisha, thank you for the likes, folks. Yes, we do appreciate it. So, yeah, let's see. I'm actually, do you know what is funny, folks? It's 55 degrees either outside or here in the office. And even though I have this pullover, I'm still in Alaska mode. It is hot. It already is hot for me. That's crazy. So, wow. It is what it is, folks. So, the Major League, the NFL football draft. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Nobody's a saint, but private kings are private kings. I really don't get why people seem to love to bring this into the public domain. Just saying is all. But let's move on. Aisha, yes. Let me. The United States of America, and this is from the opinion of a cultural geography major. Well, okay, actually, I didn't major in cultural geography. I studied cultural geography. But to get my point, at its heart and soul, in the older part of the country, the United States is still a Quaker country. And these alleged kinks or perversions are always going to be news. As we move forward, those will go away. But its heart and soul, the United States still is a Quaker. So it is what it is, folks. I'm not going to explain it to you. Look it up. But I just wanted to add that one. I agree, Aisha. It's like this is what they do, but it is the mob mentality in the United States. Good morning, Tanya. Thank you for joining us. So I'm against it, man. But he brings baggage, and Major League Baseball is pissed with him. Look, I told you, Hank Bauer set me off when he did the theme. I'm going back to it. When he said, look, this is what the rosin does. I lost my stuff. And I called him, I called him on it. I said, rosin doesn't do that. So, he was kind of asking for it. And this 2-year suspension, I think, is way too much. Way too much. So, again, how much? We'll never know. I guess I'm not overly religious. I'll never understand it. I don't know if I understand it as well. The psyche of the United States of America is a creative animal. Because you have the Quakers who can be religious zealots. And I'm going to lose quite a bit of the audience on this one. Whereas the level of hypocrisy, is beyond the pale. And, I'm going to leave it at that. I don't get it. I've studied it, spent a lot of time in it. That's why I have my belief system, and I do not judge others by that belief system. I can't. I won't. They're not shared experiences. So I'm with you on that, Aisha. Am I a man of faith? Oh, yes, I am. But I don't hold others to that standard because I do live in the United States of America, and there's this document called the Constitution, and I believe in the Constitution. So that means that if it's legal, that doesn't mean it's okay for me to do it based on my belief system. So don't throw your spears, people. Just because you can do something doesn't mean I'm going to do it under the Constitution. If it's illegal for me under my belief system, I'm not going to do it. Now, if my belief system says I can do it, but it's illegal, I'm not going to do that either. So I am not a religious zealot. Am I a religious zealot in my belief system? Yes, because I believe in it fervently. I just do not show off how much I am, because what's the point? I know how much of a hypocrite I am. So
Yeah,
it's like,
I'll bring the audience back to it because
you.
I can identify with, let's say, for example, the guy from 1995 who was wrongfully accused and sent to prison for a crime he didn't commit. In some ways, I can identify with him because over the years, growing up, people were like, oh, Matt did this and Matt did that. And I'm like, wait, where did that come from? Do you have any proof? Any proof at all that I did such and such and such? And they're like, well, yes and no, but you're still suspended. We're calling your parents. I'm like, all right, whatever, fine. But see, the thing about that was, it was always funny to me was the way my parents were. My mom couldn't afford a phone, so I would always go, "We don't have a phone. Good luck with that." Ha!
That's pretty good. I like that, Speedy.
But give it a few days, and then the school officials would be like, "Okay, think you're smart, huh?" They would send a letter, and then my parents would go, "This was like 2 weeks old. When were you?" And I'm like, "No comment." So like you, I know my basis and my rights and my religion, but I won't sink myself down into a rabbit hole and be like, let's stick myself further and further.
No, that's pretty good, Speedy. I like it. And Aisha, I thank you for your comment, folks. I did not see a comment from one of the co-hosts on this program, the Big Dawg, and I was able to see it in the last few minutes because I've been out and about. I hadn't seen stuff. It looks like the Big Dawg will be stepping away from many things for a little while, and I will just add this comment. I'm surprised that the message was sent out in the manner that it was. I'm not going to say I know absolutely everything, but the Big Dawg and I have known each other for a long time, and I hope he's able to resolve everything that's going on. And I will be speaking to him, but I will not violate his trust and his privacy. And I'm just surprised by the actual no. That's all. So, yeah, he needs time, and I genuinely hope physically he is able to heal. And I may have already crossed the line right there, so I do apologize. And I thank you, Aisha. I will be contacting him direct. I spoke to him when I was up in Alaska, so that was the last time I did. And like I say, I know I don't know everything, but I've known him since 1988, May of 1988, folks. Okay, I've known him for a long time, so I'm just surprised that he commented he did. But in some ways, I'm gratified that he shared with everyone else that he's going to be stepping away. So I hope that things do improve. I am concerned. I'm not trying to be dismissive. I am worried. I really am. I was lucky to get away. Yeah, look, I took the first hour of this program talking about my trip. It affected me that much. I know it affected me. You can't wipe the smile off my face because it did change my life. And I'm repeating it again. I'm not saying that I had, a testimonial moment, as some people would say. But what I saw, what I encountered, what I lived through, yeah, It did. And I know I'm already headed in different directions. And I'm grateful that I did what I did. People ask me, why Alaska? And to quote one of my childhood heroes, because it is there. I'll do a Monday Night in America. I have a lot to share. So there are rumors flying already about things that happened, and it's funny because a lot of people read my comments, and they know enough to know that I say things in my comments, and yeah, there were things that happened. That's all I can say. It's going to be difficult to wipe that smile off my face for a while. So I'll leave it at that. Anyway, Speedy, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say, Big Dawg, we'll be thinking about you. Wish you were here, but your private team's your private team. We understand that here. Take as much time as you need.
Folks, he is... Oh, yes. Heaven is where the heart is. Yeah. Wow. Perfect. Folks, I loved it up there. I hinted in one of my posts that I could possibly live up there. That was no joke. The air was clean. The water. I served my glass. I'm sorry, that was stupid. I had a cup, and I put water in it, and I couldn't see the water. It's like, is there water in there? I mean, wow, it's from the glaciers. So I did experiment. I'm like, okay, I know I'm in a hotel, but I turned on the shower, and I wanted to touch the water to see if it naturally comes out cold. So I don't know if it was the time of day or whatever, but when I tried it, it wasn't as cold as I thought it was going to be. So I'm like, okay, well, it's probably because it's been sitting for a while. Maybe it's in the storage tanks of the hotel, so it's not as cold. But I really thought it was going to be like ice cold, frigid, whatever. It wasn't as cold as I thought it was going to be. So I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. Maybe I should have tried that at 3 a.m, but yeah, I wasn't interested in going to the shower and putting the cold water on just to put my hand in there like, ah! So I didn't do that.
Well, maybe you could have done a test in the sink and washed your hands at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Well, I did. I did.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind that then.
It wasn't that cold. It wasn't. But I wasn't thinking about that at the time. Thank you, Speedy. I really wasn't. Now, I think it was funny. I don't know if Tanya's still here. She was over in Fantasyland down at her place, which is Disney, and I was up in my new Fantasyland, which is awesome. Folks, the pictures do not do it justice. They just do not. There's a video where I was at a conservation society, and a tree had been torn to pieces, and it had been moved to where it was. And when I walked by it, it wasn't a rustic odor, but I caught the essence of the tree. It had happened recently. I don't know if it was a few days, a few weeks, but the tree was already, it looked like it had been pulled up. There was possibly some construction right there, and they put the tree, what was left of it. I was shattered because I love trees. But going by it, catching that rustic, it's pictures, no. Yeah. It was a once in a lifetime experience, which I hope to replicate often. I want to go back up there again. So anyway, all right, it was good. And like I said, and I met a few people up there, which were really, really, absolutely awesome. It was cool.
Did you meet any public health workers that we could say, I'm a public health worker in California?
No, but I did meet someone from Southern California who, knew exactly the city I lived in, and I knew the city she lived in the past, which was really neat. And we're now friends on Facebook, which is really cool. And I look forward to being able to speak to her on a regular basis. I'm actually going to try to reach out to her and say, hey, you want to do a live program? I think that's why everyone hates me. Because I try to get people on social media, and they're like, I don't want to do that. I don't know if she does. She may. I'm going to reach out to her, and she can tell us about Alaska, which is really kind of neat. I love, folks, I'm fortunate. I got to do things that other people won't do. And when people ask me, why there?
You know, if I would have known you were going to Anchorage, Alaska, I could have put you in contact with my friend Brian, who lives in Alaska. And he could have told you everything and what to expect this time of year. But all you said was, I'm going to Alaska, everyone, on such and such day.
Yeah, and I've been talking about it for months, pal.
But you never said what part of Alaska. Nobody, I think Dreem asked you, and you were like, oh, we don't need to talk about that. And he was like, okay. That's between you and God, I guess.
All right, well, fair enough. It's all good. Let's see. Speedy, is there any other stories you want to get to right now?
Yes, there is. So on Wednesday, ESPN host Scott Van Pelt revealed that his dog Otis had passed away. Of course, this year that we had to say goodbye to Otis the dog, he said on Twitter, "Treat me with special friendship and bond in my entire life. He was an absolute great king dog. Love on your good boys and good girls with all your might, every day that you can, because there isn't enough of them." The sporting world immediately went to Twitter to show their support and love for the ESPN family, for Scott and his family. He said, anyone who's ever loved or lost a dog understands the deep pain. Happy deep trails, Otis, he said. That's fine, and Scott Davis also said the same thing. But man, that is crazy.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Scott, for the loss of your dog. I thank you for sharing it with us. I grew up with dogs and cats, and I'm sorry. It's traumatic, Scott. Scott Van Pelt, you've made me laugh so many times, and I am sorry that you're sad right now. I really am. I'm not. It's a bummer. Having a pet, yeah, it's horrible. Aisha, it's that time of day again. I wish you and Speedy well, and thank you. And Aisha, look forward to seeing you again real soon, especially on the internet. Thank you. I hope your mother is well, and looking forward to catching up. I do wish to say that I found out yesterday, and I am so sorry. Gridiron Girl lost her mother while I was in Alaska. And I was terribly saddened because I did not know. She announced it yesterday. She passed away on the 22nd of April. Gridiron Girl, who is not here this morning, I am sorry for your loss. I'm sorry that I was not there when she passed away. I was selfishly on vacation, and you did not let me know. I've known her for 20 years, and she did not post it until yesterday. Her mama passed away on April 22nd. I'm sorry, Gridiron Girl. You may be with us right now. You may not. And I'm sorry for your loss. Our mothers are our connections to the world. When we lose our mamas, we lose that physical, real connection that we have to this world. It is one of the harder and most difficult things that we have to deal with. I'm sorry, Gridiron Girl. I hope to be able to speak to you soon. So we'll see. I actually haven't even officially responded to her because I saw it late last night, early this morning. And I know that, yeah. I mean, you just look at Gridiron Girl. Gridiron Girl's a beautiful woman, a wonderful human being, individual. I know she got it from her mama. So I can only imagine the loss that we as a species by the loss of her mother. Anita E. Lugo, born November 30th, 1939, passed away on April 22nd, 2022. I'm sorry, Gridiron Girl.
I'm sorry for Gridiron Girl for your loss. I know what that feels like. It's terrible.
I know, man. I'm sorry. Again, you lost your mother when you were very young.
Yes.
You were still in high school, huh?
Yeah. I was only 16.
Yeah. I know
And I
that.
tell you, that day was tough because out of the 6 of us, I was the only one that actually went to school. Because I thought, that's where I needed to be. But by the time lunchtime came, I lost it and I flipped out and I was like, screw this, I'm out of here. And then all the security guards were like, all right, you need to come with us and everything. But the principal at the time, he was so gracious. He's like, no, it's okay. Let him go. Let him go. He had a tough day. And he said, you ever want to talk, you can call me. Because he had given me his phone number, his personal number that morning, which I didn't expect.
Yeah. Wow. He's a good person, I suppose.
Yeah.
From people you least expect. Yeah, I know. I share a story that happened to me in the last 2 years with a few people, and I'm not going to get into it right now because it crosses all barriers. But I only want to say this is the ending of the story. When I got to the pharmacy, I had 4 prescriptions that needed to be filled. And I think I still had the thing around my wrist of being at the hospital this morning. And I asked the pharmacist, because it wasn't the assistant, it was the actual pharmacist that helped me. I said, how long will it take? He said, it's going to be about an hour. Okay. Didn't say a word, didn't complain, didn't whine. I may have done, okay. All right. I was not well. This was, I think, in 2020 when I caught that nasty infection where I missed a few days. And I started to walk away, didn't say a word. And that pharmacist took more mercy on me than many in my family because I didn't say a word, didn't biatch, didn't say anything. And she turned and she was, Mr. Noriega, give me 10 minutes. There were people that were in front of me in line, and I know they would have gotten it about 40, 50 minutes. It wouldn't have been an hour, but I think she took pity on me. She knew I was hurting. She knew, and I was just resigned. I'm like, okay, what's another hour? Damn. Because there were some painkillers in there. There was the antibiotics, and she did. I think she got them done in 5 minutes.
Wow.
I see her regularly. She took more mercy on me than some family members, and I'm going to leave it at that. It's the people that we least expect, Matt, that can affect, have a positive influence, or just be there when you least expect them to be.
That is very true.
Do you remember your principal still?
Yeah, I do.
Is he still?
We talk to each other on Facebook a lot.
Really? Wow.
Who does that? Who talks to their high school principal?
A few people. Wow.
All right.
Way to go. That is neat, man. I'm sorry, Speedy. That is really cool. That is neat.
And we were this close to having one of our many reunions for the class of 01. But then, of course, 2020 happened. We were supposed to happen in 2020, and we were like, no, we're not doing this. And me and him were going to, and our class president, we're all going to do a little comedy thing to welcome everyone back because of the craziness.
Yeah.
And we're still going to do that once everything, I guess, truly gets back to normal, whenever normal will be, because, wear the mask. No, don't wear the mask. Then the federal judge, we don't need those anymore. But now everyone's like, well, we need them. I'm like, can we make up our minds?
Yeah, I knew that the mask thing was going to be relaxed prior to going up, and I consider myself lucky. And I did lose my mind when I said, "Oh no, they're going to extend it more." I'm like, "Oh." I was pissed. So when I found out that the judge relaxed it, I was okay, good. I'm flying. That was my selfish desire, was to fly. And it was up there. Almost no one wore a mask in Alaska.
Oh, I bet.
The food workers, no. Even in the restaurants, they didn't. It was, yeah, there was almost no mask wearing up there. Now that I think about it, so up there, I found out that LA County reinstated it. Like, oh man. So when I ride back in LA, I had masks with me, but I didn't have it on until I got on until I boarded the shuttle, and I noticed everyone had their mask, and I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to be a jerk. I'm just going to put it on, and that was okay. But yeah, I was really unhappy about it. Make up your minds. The waffling sucks, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, you gotta really make sure it doesn't suck, especially if your name is Mike Tyson. Did you hear about this, or you were too busy remembering your trip? About a few days ago, Mike Tyson's actually on a plane, and this young 20-something-year-old kid, probably a millennial, is like, "Oh, look," and he's obviously having somebody record him for probably God knows what, maybe his TikTok account. Look, Mike Tyson is in front of me. And he says this about like 4 or 5 times. And then you see the video, he finally gets up out of his seat, goes up to Mike Tyson and just starts, calling him names and everything. And at first Mike Tyson is just sitting there, he's like, kid, you need to quiet down. Just settle down. And then he just annoys him enough, and then you see Mike Tyson stand up, and this kid gets it. And I'm like, that's what you get.
Yeah. Wow. I did read about that, and I did see some images. There is a video, right, of him actually. Yeah, I haven't seen that portion of it, and well, what are you gonna do, dude? You don't poke the bear.
You don't. Definitely not.
I know. Oh, and speaking of poking Denali, morning.
Good morning.
Welcome back, Dreem.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah,
had to get my restaurant going.
Oh, you demand. Oh, by the way, folks, I believe Dreem will be on the West Coast in June.
Yes, I will.
Is something going to happen here on June 11th?
May to June, yeah. I'm going back for the graduation for the kids. I've got my middle daughter graduating college. I've got my niece graduating college, and I am a whole slew of other things going on. We're also making a pit stop in Arizona, and we're going to be scouting new locations for locations. So, a lot of big news.
I know you said that 2-year window, it's accelerating, isn't it?
Yeah, very quickly.
Do you think it'll happen this year?
No. We are pretty committed to making sure my oldest daughter finishes her middle school years here.
Oh.
I want her to be able to finish 8th grade, graduate with the kids she's been going to school with, etc. And then everybody starts new in high school anyway, so we figured that was a good time to, let her make that jump.
Impressive. Wow. So, yeah, folks, I've been talking about Dreem humbly invited me to get over there for the holidays. And I was like, oh no, Dreem, I was talking about going in, the first part of November or something like that. He's like, nah, got to be a holiday. I was like, oh, crap.
Yep, you coming for Thanksgiving. We're going to fatten you up like the turkey.
I have graciously not said no because I still am going to Louisiana in November. So it's a point of contention right now as to when. On my end, Dreem's like, there's no contention.
Getting here some way or another.
Yeah. And I'm not sure if I told you, but I'm going to Washington, D.C. in May. I'm going to spend some time with Michael, and it's going to be fun. I'll be able to. Because last time I went.
DC?
Yeah. Yes.
Man.
Last time I went over there was in 2007, and I was on union business. So I didn't really get a chance to look around a lot. But.
Which Michael with? Michael Day?
Michael Day, yes.
Yep.
Yeah. And, he's been involved with, of course, Starship Farragut. He was also involved with Project Emkin right now and numerous other fan film programs, but also other endeavors, professional, Hollywood and stuff. He doesn't like when I say this, but I see him as the godfather, a guardian angel to many fan productions. You can find awesome. You can find his fingerprints, his endeavors over many, many. The man loves to be behind the scenes.
If you have a black light, you'll find more. Like a Jackson Pollard painting, that one.
Yeah, we had a feeling you would go there, Dreem.
Knowing that he would go there was a lot different than actually holding his hand and taking the trip, damn it. And I stood quietly on that setup, not realizing, obviously, what I had done. And Dreem just said, "Oh, thou just throw me a grapefruit in the softball game? Do you know what I'm going to do to this grapefruit, dumbass?" Making eye contact with me as I throw the pitch. He's like, "Do you have your daughter to go chase this one?"
Better set up that ladder by the backfield wall.
Yeah, that's the thing that Scorekeeper's been doing this entire show. You've been throwing the ball up and down. I guess I have to get my baseball, and we're going to start doing that.
Yeah. I haven't. Well, folks, you guys know I'm a hardcore baseball fan. I have always been. It's the sport I love. I'm a Yankee fan, but it pisses people off when I say that I'm a Dodger fan. I'm an Angel fan. I also like the Padres. I've always had an affinity for the Padres.
I will say this. I am a baseball fan.
I have that in common. Yes.
I love good baseball. Now, of course, it's sweeter when the Yankees win, but I love good baseball, and that's the end of it. I'm okay with the Padres, because Speedy's there, so I'll allow him that.
Well, no, he's the hated ones, dude. If anything, you and I should be against Speedy because he is a hardcore one of the hated ones.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought he was a Padres fan.
Oh, no.
No. Heck no. I would never be a Padres fan. We're talking Dreem. I am a proud fan and proud member of the San Francisco Giants.
Stop swearing.
Oh, my God.
But Dreem, it's funny you mentioned that because earlier we had talked about it. What did you think about the incident that happened last Saturday when Yankee fans were throwing debris at the players from the other team, especially when one player got seriously injured?
All right. I do not endorse violence of any kind. I do not disrespect the game in that sense. The game needs to be held pure. So, I do not condone that type of behavior. When you're at home and you want to throw popcorn at the screen or you want to, throw crap all over your house, that's one deal. If you get pissed off, whatever. You want to take to Twitter and say how much you hate a specific team, that's fine. But, everybody's entitled to their own opinion no matter how wrong it is. I knew you'd like that, Scorekeeper. But yeah, no, I don't condone that unless it's the Giants. Fuck the Giants. But I'm just kidding. No,
all right.
I'm kidding. I joke.
I know you are. I know you are.
But
I'm kidding when I say give me your address.
yeah, right. Oh man. There was a time when I appreciated the Giants for their baseball playing abilities, and then I finished taking the shit, and then
okay. All right.
No, there's three teams that I do not like: Boston, the Giants, and anyone from Seattle.
Okay, that's fine.
That's fair? That's fair, right?
That's fair. But Dreem, these guys, these fans were throwing bottles. They were throwing everything except the kitchen sink. And the only umpires that actually got involved with security and with the opposing team to try and calm these Yankee fans down were the umpires on the field and the police on the field.
You have to refresh my memory. What team was this?
This one. Hold on, I have to go back into my bookmark here. The Yankee fans were playing against the Cleveland Guardians.
Oh yeah.
Oh well, maybe they just needed them to just, dude. You can't hold that against the Yankees fans. They're just trying to help the Cleveland Guardians get a hit.
No, but one player, it started when a player ran into the fence. He was trying to catch the ball, but he misjudged the fence, and then his face got severely injured and lacerated. And Yankee fans were like, you got injured. Look at all that blood coming off of you. And they gave him so many gestured hand signs that I won't even mention on this show. It was bad. But the only ones that actually got involved were the security guards on the field and the umpires. Meanwhile, you had up above these fans, you had all these police officers and other security up there who didn't do anything. They just stood there. I'm like, why don't you get these people out of here? Start ejecting people. They didn't do anything.
The police and the security guards in the stands are responsible for taking care of that, but they also have a greater responsibility to make sure that riots aren't happening. Making sure nobody's storming, trampling the rest of the fans, stuff like that. So they have to keep a broader eye out in the fans for that respect. And it's impossible to go out and get one person until you get actual confirmation that this was the person that was doing it. And, because you don't want to just grab somebody, throw them out of the game and throw them out of the stadium, and then it's the wrong person. Then you got lawsuits and then all sorts of other nonsense. If it's on the field, correct me if I'm wrong, but if stuff's happening on the field, then the security from the field level and the umpires are the ones that handle all of that good stuff. The security guards and the police officers in the stands are there to protect the fans. If I'm wrong, correct me. But
no, the players actually jumped the fence to try and get involved with these fans, and they got face to face with them when some of the players actually jumped the fence.
That is on the players.
They were defending their player that just got busted open and had all this blood coming out of his face.
But that was from the fence. That wasn't from a fan.
What did you say?
You said that was from the fence, right? The player ran into the fence?
Yeah. And then after he got injured, other players were reacting to it, and they started jumping the same fence, and they were like, what's wrong with you fans? Don't you know anything? He's hurt. He's injured. Show some compassion. And it just got nasty, and nobody did anything. All the umpires on the field were like, okay, you fans need to calm down, just go back to your seats, sit back down, relax. But they wouldn't stop. They just kept getting crazier and crazier. And it's all on video. They know who did it. but nobody got ejected. Nobody got thrown out of the game.
The people that were throwing stuff onto the field should face some kind of penalty.
Yes,
that's what we're saying.
But and I agree with that. They should face some kind of penalty. Like I said, respect to the game, respect what's going on the field. You're there as an observer. Yes, you're there to enjoy, but you're there to observe the sport in its purest form while you're there. When you go in, you're buying the ticket. When you're paying the ticket, like we were mentioning earlier, you're agreeing to the terms and services of that ticket. Just like when you go into a parking garage, you pay for your parking garage ticket, you're there to park, but whatever happens to your car while it's there is not guaranteed to be safe. You understand that when you buy the ticket to park there, your car is not protected. It's not an insurance thing. When you go and pay your ticket for the baseball field or the NBA arena, whatever it is, you are agreeing to their terms of service, which is you don't be an a-hole and throw shit on the field. You're not attacking people. You're not, trashing the place. You're not graffitiing. You're not, whatever. You will face repercussions of that. And I'm sure they're going to look at the video and find the seats and find the tickets and everything else. And there'll probably be some repercussions that we never hear about. But, it's if you're going to go watch a baseball game in the stands, you have to be aware that, you're going to be held accountable for your actions. You're free to do whatever you want, but you're not free from the consequence of those actions.
Right. And then just a minute ago, before you jumped in, we were talking about the Mike Tyson incident where some kid was, I guess, trying to get on his TikTok, and he's like, hey, Mike Tyson's in front of me. And, he said this about 5 or 6 times, and then he gets up and he actually gets in Mike Tyson's face on this video, and Mike Tyson just lets him have it. At first, Mike Tyson's like, dude, you need to chill out. I'll give you an autograph later or something when the plane lands. But I'm just trying to, enjoy the ride here. But this kid wouldn't let it go. And like I told Scorekeeper a minute ago, he got what he deserved. That's what he gets.
Yeah, as far as Mike Tyson goes, that man has been hit in the head how many times? He is how strong, and even at his age, he would whoop anybody that's not a professional boxer. And you think you're going to get into his face and cause all this drama and be scot-free? No, you got issues of your own. You got to work out. I wholeheartedly believe Mike Tyson, did his best to, alleviate the situation before it got out of hand. However, you can't poke that kind of bear and not expect something to happen. He's been hit too many times in the head with more power than you'll ever face in your life. From all the boxing matches he's been. He wasn't a Floyd Mayweather. He was a heavyweight who got pummeled. And especially towards the end of his career. But Jesus, that's brain trauma right there. And when you got that kind of trauma in your head, your decisions aren't always the best. So you don't go poking that bear.
That's what we said, Denali, just as you joined us. Folks, here's the video. I don't know if Dreem can see it or not, but take a quick look. Here's the video of the walk-off that ended this game. Okay. Sorry for... They win the game. I have 2 videos to show you. Stuff's going on right now that we cannot see. And the players are already engaging the fans. See, look. They're already having stuff thrown at them.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to put this link. See, it's bad. It's out of control. Okay.
So the Yankees players did run up to try to stop him. It's not like the Yankees.
Yeah.
The Yankee players did what they're supposed to do. Hey, guys, calm down. Hey, guys, calm down. So, I mean, it's really just idiot fans at that point.
Yes. Now, check this out. This was right there when it happened. Check it out. Why can't I get play on this? There it is. Look, they're talking crap. Now, look at the Guardian. They're saying, stay down. Come on, get back. Get back. I cannot hear. They're saying, get mad. They're saying, get mad, get mad. There he is. Look, he's answering him back. He flipped him off. Come on, come and hit me. Come and hit me, mother effer. Come and hit me. Okay, folks.
So,
that
on that respect,
rules. Yes.
No, that's on the fault of the player, personally.
Yes.
The player can definitely get in trouble for that. Yes, it's shitty of the fan to act like that. I don't agree with that behavior. But fans are going to say what they want to say no matter what. It's the player's responsibility to ignore that and keep playing the game. Even if it's the end of the game, you walk away. Fans are going to be idiots. They're drunk in the stands 9 times out of 10, especially if you're sitting up at that front row. Those fans in particular are the most dangerous ones, just because they feel they're entitled to address the players. They feel they're entitled to, interact. And again, like I said, 9 times out of 10, they're drunk. It's just not a good situation. And as a player, you don't respond to that. You walk away from that. Let them say what they say. Mm-hmm. You walk away. I'm against the player on that one.
And it was actually several players because they were responding to the fans. And at that point, when you look at that video, the Guardians initiated that. Because that one guy jumps up into the face and says, come on, come in, hit me, mother effer, hit me. And exactly what Dreem said. Oh, no problem.
Yep.
They're already drunk, they're already stupid, and they're going to start throwing stuff. That's what everyone saw, that the fans were throwing stuff at them. But funny how this video didn't make the media.
No, of course.
The player is saying, come on. See, and before seeing this video, I told Speedy earlier, I said, the players are not supposed to engage the fans. How many times does a player respond to a fan, flip them off, and they get suspended?
Yep. It doesn't matter. Not. I mean, you can give them a lighthearted, if it's all in a positive angle, if they say, hey, great job, hey, thanks, man, thanks for coming down, whatever. That's one thing. But in a negative way, you don't ever interact with the fans. You can't do that.
And they were baiting them, say, come on, I know the guy was mad, but the fans were yelling at him, yeah, you guys lost, get mad, get mad. I mean, it was stupid what the fans were saying. They were obviously drunk. But, they were saying, go home, get mad, you're done. And obviously the fans said something that got him to respond. And then he jumps right up into them and say, you're talking shit? Why don't you hit me now, mother effer? Yep. And the other fans heard it, and they said, no problem. So looking at that, look, I said, I agreed with Dreem and everything. The only time I flinched when he says no violence on the field, I was like, well, I don't know. The headhunter in me was like, I don't know, I want to amend that, but just kidding. Yeah. I agreed with everything that Dreem said. You don't do that. Players, you're not supposed to engage the fans. I don't know if Major League Baseball has seen this video yet, but those players were engaging the fans and trying to bait them like they did with Mike Tyson. It's clear to me that those players should be suspended as well. There's 2 sides to every story. But the Yankee fans had, just because he says, come and hit me, doesn't mean you have the right to throw something at him.
Agreed. I mean, both sides were in the wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But the player's going to face heftier fines because they're not supposed to be doing that at all.
Well, we'll see. I don't know if Major League Baseball has seen that one.
Yep. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's time for me to get back. I just wanted to jump in and say hey. And good talk, guys.
Thanks, Denali.
Shut
Thanks,
up.
Dreem.
Peace out.
Okay, folks. The reason why I call him Denali is he's Dreem. But the biggest thing that most people don't like is that the tallest mountain in the Americas was Mount Whitney. But the first peoples renamed it to Mount Denali, which is its name, allegedly. And, Thomas's Latin name is Whitney. So I'm like, hey, Denali. That's
exactly what you're talking right there when his last name is the same.
Yes, that's why I said, well, they changed it up there, so you're Denali now. He laughed the first time I told him that. So that's why I told him right now, hey, Denali. So he was like, yeah, whatever.
He's like, shut up.
Yeah, it was. It was like, shut up. And that's the reason behind it, So it's really good. I'm just messing with him, but I've been telling him now, hey, what's up, Denali? So, and then I'm trying to purposely pronounce it in Catch Me If You Can, when Leonardo DiCaprio is pretending to be the teacher, and it's Abagnale, not Abagnale, not Abagnale. It's Abagnale. So I was trying to use the same accent by saying it's Denali. But anyway, it's all good. All right, folks, we have talked about quite a few things today. It's been really good. I didn't get my joke in, so here it is. And knowing that I got caught trying to get through security, after surgery, the doctor said to the patient, I'm sorry, but I forgot a pair of scissors inside you. I need to. Oh, no, you don't, brother doctor. If it's because of that, just tell me how much it costs and I will pay you back. No, didn't like it. Didn't like my scissors joke. All right, whatever. All right, this should work. The new minister stood at the church door, greeting the members as they left the Sunday morning service. While most of the people told the minister how much they liked his message, one man seemingly had a different opinion. That was a very dull and boring sermon, Pastor. The pastor was a bit baffled by this, but he continued shaking hands. A few minutes later, the same man again appeared in line and said, I don't think you did much in the way of preparation for your message. Once again, the man circled back and appeared in line, this time muttering, you really blew it. You didn't have a thing to say. Finally, the pastor says. Or finally, the minister could stand it no more. He went to one of the deacons and inquired about that man. The deacon said, oh, don't let that guy bother you. He's a little slow. All he does is go around repeating whatever he hears other people saying. I was like, oops, I guess it wasn't good.
Wow.
That was just for you for today, guys. Joke of the day. So, all right. I know, Speedy, that I'm going to have to be calling it early, not right now, but I do have one appointment today at about 10 or 11 in the morning, so I have to prep for that one. But beyond that, is there anything else you would like to get to? I'm generally done with the stories I wanted to cover. So, what would you like to get to?
All right. Well, I have, like I said,
2 weeks worth.
Yeah, 2 weeks worth, and we're catching up right now, ladies and gentlemen. And since we'll get to the NFL in a minute, and also that was an interesting. I don't know if you caught it up there in Alaska, but the USFL game on Sunday, I was like, they didn't call that. I guess they don't call certain things that they do in the NFL and other places. But this is the first story that we tried to cover 2 weeks ago, but of course, my internet crapped out because of the weather. I'm sure Scorekeeper got that picture I sent of how terrible the weather was up here then 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
And the other problem is we have these solar panels, these cheap-ass solar panels on our roof that was acquired by the apartment company. They should take those off. But here we go. I'm sure everybody knows about this by now, even though it's 2 weeks old, but I'll go through it anyway. We all know about the one woman who was predominant in the 90s Tammy Finch, better known as Sunny in WWF, was recently involved back in January of another, but this time I think she put her nail in the coffin, so to speak. Got involved in another drunk driving accident. She somehow took off the alcohol thing that's supposed to be in her car. I don't know how she did that. That the judge demanded she have in her car, but it wasn't in her car, which means she was able to drive freely and not have to use the breathalyzer in her car. And this time, she caused a fatal accident where the man ultimately died a week and a half after she was already in jail. Now the family is suing for him who lost his life in that wreck. They told the judge we are seeking at least $30,000 to compensate for the funeral and medical expenses, as well as their own pain and suffering now that he's gone. And some are comparing this to Owen Hart's incident, where the court settled for $18 million, but they're now saying that Tammy's court settlement is unjustified. It was a 3-car accident. The driver of the vehicle that was hit by Tammy was identified as Julian Francis of Daytona Beach, was transported to Halifax Medical Center, where, like I said, a week and a half later, he was pronounced dead. Even if the toxicology report comes back clean, she was still driving without a license as well, given the fact that she was responsible for manslaughter without a driver's license. Many state laws say that you're immediately done and over with driving because it is manslaughter, and that's it. Your license is also taken away. But we know of too many people that have actually gotten back behind the wheel, even though their license is suspended or revoked. Isn't that right, Scorekeeper?
Yeah, dude, it's not a good thing, man.
And there's been, other wrestlers who have tried to help her and tried to show her the right way and at least get her back on that path. I mean, she did very well in a lot of the One Night Stand DVDs for Homecoming, for WWE ECW promotion show they did, but I guess maybe she lost her passion for wrestling. I don't know. But I think this is pretty much where her life is now probably pretty much over. So we'll see. The New Japan Pro President Taki Inama had saved a little girl from being killed at a train station recently. This was also from last week, too. And it was quite the scene, given that they've never met, as me and Scorekeeper talked about earlier. You just never know. And it's because it's a president of a wrestling company went on Twitter to share a heartwarming story about this. He came to the U.S. and he saved a little girl from getting crushed at a train station. His tweet in Japanese has been translated to English. He said, with a little help from that, he's glad that he was able to save this young girl from possible death. He said, I just returned to Japan, and on my way home by train, a little girl who could barely stand fell between the train and the platform. She was lying on the platform, and with the help of her mother, we managed to pull her up. Her little face could barely fit through the gap on the train. He said, "Parents, please be aware. Since I retired from volleyball, my height was never useful, but my heart was still racing," he said. That's incredible that he was able to do that. So a life is saved. Yeah, I tell you. Crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone, now we're coming up to this week's news. Everyone is asking the question, Scorekeeper, mainly wrestling fans. Why is Jimmy Uso allowed to appear on television after his drunk driving incident recently? I mean, every 2 years he gets into this, but this time, on one hand, the officer who initiated with him shouldn't have said what he said. It was kind of derogatory. But I think there was a miscommunication between them because the officer said what he said behind his cop car, so the door was kind of closed, and Jimmy was like, "What did you say? Oh, you're an asshole for that." And he's like, I don't know what you heard, but I did not say that, so I don't know how I'm an asshole. And then they told Jimmy Uso, "All right, now you got to walk the line. You got to do the whole alcohol breathalyzer thing." And Jimmy is caught on camera telling them, "Oh, I can't do it. I'm a wrestler, but I had surgery, so I can't walk the line." And they said, "Well, you're an athlete. Athletes, don't you guys take pain medication and stuff like that?" He goes, "Yeah, but I just had surgery and Scorekeeper, I know you're an officer of the law, but I cannot walk the line. I just had surgery." And it's like you're standing in front of me and you just walked out of the car. You just got in my face literally 2 seconds ago about why I asked you to get out of the car. And as you're preparing to walk the line, because I stepped behind my cop car, what I said isn't actually what I said, and then you call me an asshole. And now you're saying you can't walk the line because you just had surgery, yet you're actually walking. So everyone wants to know why is Jimmy Uso still allowed to be on TV? I know why. Remember, this is a company run by Vince McMahon, who's like, all right, you're good. I see that smile on Scorekeeper's face too. Yes, they do. Oh, sure. Yeah, you were. Let's see here. It says you were caught drunk driving. Yeah, you're okay. You can still go out and be on television tonight. No big deal. In the words of Steve Austin, what? What happened to the big reprimand here? He's been on TV for the last 2.5 weeks. And this just happened like the day before or the day after my birthday. So, but he's been on TV this whole time, and they're like, "Well, you're okay. You're fine." Unless they have to know about it. Everybody's been talking about it. Mainly Scorekeeper's favorite show, TMZ. Those guys talk about it a lot, but I don't know. Speaking of, I don't know, it's now Kaylee Ray's turn to explain her new name. And on a side note, just so everybody understands where I'm going with this, they just released half of the roster from NXT for no apparent reason, other than it's spring cleaning in WWE. if Big Dawg was here, he would say whatever the hell that means. Because that doesn't mean anything. But I guess this is why they changed the name to NXT 2.0. Because 2.0 doesn't mean anything either. And it's like I've said many times before, they're moving everybody up to the main roster rather quickly, which means there's nobody on the NXT brand now. And now that they just released half of them, there's maybe like 20 wrestlers on the NXT roster because they moved everybody else up to Raw and SmackDown. So we'll see what Kaylee Ray's new name's going to be. Jake the Snake Roberts, we all know his contract was originally supposed to be only 10 days, which means when he first debuted, it was only supposed to be for 2 weeks. But then they were like, okay, well, you can stay longer. We'll just extend it. And that's why you've been seeing him more and more on AEW. So, other ethical reasons behind that. And I don't know how this started, but it's becoming rather ridiculous, especially on YouTube. YouTube's the one that started this, where, oh, you're making what kind of video? Okay, that's unacceptable. We can't allow this anymore. But it's just a music video. Let's say you were making a music video and it's got no profanity in it. It's relatively a clean song. Nobody's even made this song, but you're the one making it. And then YouTube goes, oh, nope. Scratch that. Your video's been demonetized. And now you've got other websites doing it. Your Facebook is doing it too. Oh, your information is incorrect. Our information is right. And where I'm going with this is that Alexa Bliss. I love Alexa Bliss's character. It's crazy that, she took time off after Extreme Rules because she had reconstructive surgery. But, some little websites, they don't want this on there, and it's been revealed that Instagram has said her picture of her surgery, I mean, she's clearly in a cast. I will link this to Scorekeeper right now so you can link it for you guys in the chat room. And you tell me what you think about this. Because it's just a picture of her surgery. It's not, I don't know how this is graphic in any way. It's already covered up. Her surgery, excuse me, happened after Extreme Rules, and I just put it there in the chat so Scorekeeper can post it for you guys in the chat room. And Instagram is like, oh my god, that's too graphic. No. This is evil. Get this demonetized. Get this off our website. And there's been worse stuff than this that have been posted to YouTube or TikTok or anything. But Instagram, come on.
That's the imagery? That one?
Yes, that's the one. And they're like, nope, this is too graphic for us. You must take it down right now.
Wow. That's crazy.
It's just her own surgery. She was letting everybody know that her nose is feeling better. Surgery went well. But Twitter's like, no, get this off of here. You remove this or we will.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy.
I don't get that. That's just an injury. Or actually, it's not even an injury. It's recovering from surgery.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I mean, there's a lot of YouTubers out there that, they make these videos and then YouTube, I don't know if it's the YouTube robots that are doing it or if they're constantly being reported for the same thing, but they're like, oh, this is pornographic. And it's like, no, what I'm watching has nothing to do with getting naked or something like that. It's just a general video. And so all these websites are like flagging everything you do now. Oh, okay, you can't do this anymore. I mean, what's going to happen? What if one day StreamYard says, oh, for Sports Talk with the Guys, you're not allowed to do sports anymore. It's too graphic, it's too violent. No, what we do here is we talk sports and we just share about it.
Yeah, our commentary. Yeah.
Exactly. These websites, Scorekeeper, they're acting like we're actually there with these people doing this stuff and not actually going after the ones that should be in trouble. Like when you were gone, there was a TikTok picture, and of course it got taken down, so I'm sure I can't find it now, where someone was actually doing nudity stuff on TikTok. And at first TikTok was like, whatever. And they let the upload happen until people were reporting about it. It's like, yeah, those are the people you should be going after. So, I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, that USFL game on Sunday, it was exciting. It was very different. Different than the NFL, different than college. The one particular play where the guy went around, he clearly went out of bounds, but he went back in and he got tackled and they blew the whistle. And I was like, shouldn't they have blown the whistle when he got out of bounds? And the referee's like, okay, first down.
Do you have a video of that one? Because I was watching several of the games, but I did not see that one play.
No, I do not. And there was one play, too, where a guy was actually holding on to the other guy's pants. And I'm like, what is that? And the referee just walked right past it and didn't acknowledge it. And I'm like, referee, are you seeing the same thing that I'm seeing? Nope. And next thing you know, he's like, touchdown. Like, okay, he had to get the other guy by his pants, literally, for 4 seconds. That's cool, okay. I guess that's the USFL way.
Yeah.
And there's not really too many holding penalties. And I'm not sure if I love or hate it yet, where you can hear what the defensive coordinators are saying in their booth. You can hear what almost everybody else is saying, too, on the field.
Excuse me.
So that was kind of interesting. especially the one in the third quarter where it's like 48, 48, and the announcers are like, yeah, we know what 48 means. It means they're going to stand back and try and flank them and rush them off the other side to confuse them. Like, oh, well, this is a different kind of play calling here, too. And then the other announcer said, yeah, it helps our viewers at home understand what's going on when almost all the players are mic'd up, even the coaches are mic'd up. Like, maybe not all of them have to have a microphone on them.
So you're not a fan of that?
I don't know yet. I'm still getting used to it. What do you think?
It hasn't taken away from the game. I'm trying to watch the game right now, and I do notice the significant talent gap. But that was the first year of the original USFL. I'm old enough to remember that. And by the second season, you had so many players that were coming over to the league that it changed. I'm in for the long haul on this one. I thought I was watching good football, and I'm looking forward to seeing them get better at it.
Yeah. Who's actually playing right now?
I have not checked that. Give me one quick moment.
Oh, okay.
Give me, let me see, USFL2.com. Tampa Bay Bandits are playing at 1 p.m. on Fox versus the Houston Gamblers, who are 1-1. At 5 p.m. on Fox, the Birmingham Stallions, who are 2-0, take on the New Orleans Breakers, who are 2-0 at New Orleans. Well, it's not, but, Sunday at 11:30 a.m. on USA is the Pittsburgh Maulers, 0-2 versus the 0-2 Michigan Panthers. And then on Sunday on the Peacock Network at 5 p.m., the New Jersey Generals, 1-1 versus the Philadelphia Stars. I want the LA Express back. I love the logo. Oh, hey, good morning, Lewis. Give me, yeah. Well, look, hey, here's the logo right now for the, where is it? USFL. Okay, here's the USFL logo, which is really cool. But the LA Express one. Oh, come on. I guess I haven't uploaded it. I'm going to have to find it. But, folks, it is really cool. I always did like the LA Express. It's actually on some of our Blog Talk Radio episodes. I'm trying to find it right now. Give me a moment. Let's see if this is it. Where are the images? Oh, come on. Show me some of the images.
That moment your computer doesn't cooperate.
Right. Exactly. It doesn't cooperate. There. Okay. There we go. Check this out. This was the LA Express. Remember, I drugged my dad out to go and see a football game at the Coliseum, which was really cool. There it is. Wow. Neato. LA Express.
Nice.
There were the, yeah. It was. I thought it was a cool symbol. There's a few others that I did like, but look, there's the Oakland Invaders. That one was cool. I believe this is the Chicago Blitz. Or no, wait, is that the Oakland Invaders? No, that's the Oakland. Oh, it is the Oakland Invaders. I'm so sorry. Wow, and then you had the Pittsburgh Panthers. There it is. Okay, Oakland Invaders, yeah. LA Express. Yeah, I don't know who those guys are, but there are others. I used to like the original logos to those teams, but I love the LA Express one. Sorry, folks. Flashback. Let me kill that one.
Yeah, and then the NASCAR race, too, was awesome.
Yeah, and one of the NASCAR drivers was really stupid.
Yeah.
He used a meme that insensitive post. The driver that you're making fun of is a minority. He's Asian, and you're making fun of his driving. The meme was racist.
Ah, okay.
It was well known. It was insensitive, and folks, I'm laughing because I cannot believe the inherent abject lack thereof. Look, I talked about it for years when Jeremy Lin was, I think, with the New Jersey, with the basketball team, and he had this whole thing where he was on fire, Linsanity, and he started scoring points, but there was a question about his defense. And the article written by this guy, I flinched the moment I saw it. He said, Linsanity, and I'm paraphrasing, but the chink in his armor is his defense. I was like, I said, this made it? I mean, we're the editors. And I explained to everyone the word chink, the way it was being used. If you use the word itself, it has incredible hatred, racist, insensitive, angry connotations. But look at the word itself, chink. As I understand it, and I learned this because of my military reading, that when you have armor that's on a ship and you have to weld it together, the actual weld is referred to as the chink. Okay? That's exactly. So it's a point of weakness in a ship where that weld spot is. It's called a chink in their armor. And it's understood to be a weak spot. And ships have been damaged when they get hit right there. That's their weakness. So when you think about what the guy was writing, what's the weakness in Linsanity? What's the chink in his armor? You get it. I understood it, but I'm like, dude, he's Asian. How the hell did you use that word? And it was bad. It was bad. So, well, we've talked about that one ad infinitum ad absurdum. So.
Yeah, well, in NASCAR, Mark Truex Jr. came in at number 5. Yeah. Kyle Larson came in at number 4. Kyle Busch was number 3. Ooh, Busch and Larson, man, I thought they were going to wreck each other out there toward the end.
Yeah.
Number 2 was Dylan, and number 1 was Chastain. So he wins the race. And this happened at Scorekeeper's favorite racetrack, Talladega.
Talladega. Actually, I was making fun of that course because of the movie Talladega Nights, and I thank you for that. But no, it's always been Sonoma, baby. It's always been Sonoma.
Yeah. One day I'll get there. Get to a live racetrack.
Yeah. Folks, the whole thing with Kyle Larson, I myself did not know that he was of Asian descent as well. So, wow. It's like, yeah, it was bad. I guess looking at the kid, I should be able to tell, but I don't take people based on their appearances. And I've been taught very well by my employer. This is something that I did not know. And they had training at work, and I'm grateful for it. It's called implicit bias. When I was first explained what implicit bias was, I flipped them off, telling them, hey, you guys don't know what you're talking about. I went to the training. There's legitimacy to the training. And I'm eternally grateful that my employer provided it. Implicit bias. And I've learned, think about why you're thinking of things the way you are or why you're observing them. Take a moment back or take a step back and look at what you're doing. And I am eternally grateful. Like I said, I don't want more training. It's a waste of time. But I'm eternally grateful that my employer provided me with implicit bias training. It's really good.
So, We know that it's NFL draft weekend, but how did Wayne Newton butcher the Raiders draft pick announcement?
Please share it, Speedy. It is so hard to be a Raider fan during draft day.
I know.
You're always
draft
hoping for
weekend,
the best,
I'd rather say.
and you see the worst. And then the Raiders did not. I think three of their their top picks over the last 2 years, three of them, they're not gonna follow through on the guaranteed portion of it. So those guys, the Raiders, have not drafted well over the last 2-3 years.
Right.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. It's so disappointing right now. But anyway, all right, Speedy, what else did you want to get to? Because now my time is short.
Well, I can't believe that the bar pick that, I don't know. We'll just leave it at that. Then Wayne Newton had actually.
I was going to look up Oakland Raiders, idiot. Las Vegas Raiders.
Alan wished a happy Mother's Day to a full crowd and to the players there, and they were like, what? And this is where Wayne Newton butchered the Raiders selection of Memphis guard Dylan Pammard by omitting his position and mistaking his school by saying he was drafted from Mississippi. And everyone's like, I think Newton should sit this one out. I don't know how that happened, but it did.
Yeah.
More and more people are saying that the NFL draft should just be Friday and Saturday. What do you think?
Well, due to the length of the draft,
because I know in the mid '90s it used to go from Thursday to Sunday.
Wow, that I don't recall. I always thought it was 3 days. It was 4 days, really? Wow.
Yeah, I remember watching on ESPN back in the day.
Wow. So I know the Major League Baseball draft is pretty long too. It's like easily 2 days, if not 3 as well. That's crazy. The NFL draft, I guess there's 7 rounds. Or no, wait. Actually, I don't know how many rounds there are, but I know right now it's over 3 days. Look, Speedy, the only ones that are complaining are the Carlsons and Karens of the Twitterverse. It's a fake website. The only people you have complaining on Twitter are the complainers. I'm sorry. The only ones that you have are just the complainers. And, why should it have to be 3 days? Get the hell out of here. It is what it is. If you don't like it, shut up, Carlson, and go home. Karen, go play with yourself. Go home. It's been 3 days for so long. The only ones that complain is because he ain't getting any. That's the sad truth. And, go home. Go play somewhere else. Do you think it's too long, Speedy?
No, I enjoy it, but these are probably the same people that are like, well, don't they have the NFL Network? Why don't you just throw it on there for as long as it is? We need our regular cable back.
The NBA has 2 rounds. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all they have. And I guess it's working for them. It's impressive. But the NFL has been one of the better drafts. They've done a good deal with it. And it's really kind of I like the NFL draft. I was lucky. I said one of the best times in the world was when I was a co-host with Cuervo and we did the NFL draft. That was fun. You haven't lived till you've done a draft with Cuervo. He really knows his stuff, and it was really cool. And I regret that I have not had a chance to do a draft with him in forever. So who knows? Maybe in the future I'll be able to do that again. At least one more time before I leave this rock.
Yeah, I mean, and then like you said, baseball, their draft goes on forever too, and people are saying the same thing. They got Major League Baseball Network now. Why can't they just move it there?
Yeah,
it's so different. I mean, their draft is similar to what WWE does when they're like, some authority figure will come out and tell you what show the wrestler's going to be on. So it's kind of pointless to say, well, everybody should have their own network now. Just do the draft on the network. But they want to promote it on cable, and they want to do this on television, and that's what's been taking place for the last 20-something years. I don't know. All I know is it was always on ESPN in the 90s when I was watching it.
Yeah.
And, well, what about Rob Gronkowski saying that he might play or retire? But now that it's draft weekend, he's not sure.
Thanks, Rob. You know, you have such a lot of good feeling going with you, and now you're starting to act that way too. It's, come on, Rob. Just if you got something to say it. If you're gonna be really don't know if I'm gonna play or retire. Wow. Thanks for playing, pal. But I suppose in today's world of players being stupid and dumb, so hey, you know what? I guess it's just a pointless waste of time. Wait. I just stuttered because I said the same thing. Pointless waste of time. It's the same thing.
I was about to say, yeah. And the 49ers, they turned down Deebo Samuel for a trade offer from two different teams. So, I don't know if he'll have a team or not this season.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't give that one too much thought. I doubt I will either. I'm not.
And Cole Strange has been introduced in New England. Bill Belichick says he has his reasons behind the surprise first-round pick.
Oh, okay.
So I'll leave that at that.
Well, Belichick has gotten away with. Wow.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, and good for him, I guess.
Desmond Ridder has said he is confident more than ever that he will win over the Falcons locker room.
I don't understand. I really don't understand why you have to go and just say that. Dude, just shut up, do your job, and get to work. Oh, I'm going to win over the locker room.
Yeah, really. That's like me and Big Dog going, we're going to win over the entire internet audience to become wrestling fans. I mean, you at first were a little uneasy. You're like, how long was the trip? And Big Dog's like, about 5 hours. What kind of chairs are we sitting on? And I was like, metal chairs. And you were like, okay. So we got you to come to your first few wrestling shows.
Well, since things are opening up, Speedy, I can't wait to find out when the next event is going to be. Like I said, I no longer have attachments. I don't. I'm able to do whatever I want, whenever I want. And I'll tell you this, I'm not driving to San Francisco anymore, though. No, homie don't want to do that. I learned that I liked the 50-minute flight. That was easy. And like I said, and then when I flew up to Seattle, it only took 2 hours. Geez, that was nice. So, but going over to Washington, D.C. next month, that's going to suck again. That's going to be 5.5 hours. Ugh. But I will gladly fly up to San Francisco, Speedy, and spend some more time with you guys. Well, I'm still hoping to go to Oakland in August.
All right.
Yeah, I do want to catch a baseball game over at the stadium before it closes down or the A's move. So that one is still in the works. The others, I don't know. I'm changing my schedule around a little bit because, as I said, some things happened up north that have changed my life forever, and it's changed my thinking on how I'm going about doing stuff. So.
Yeah, well, it's 9:20 here, so
yeah.
I'm sure if you got on the plane right now, you could make it to Oakland or SFO before 10 o'clock. Well,
no.
Now you have to go through screening. You have to go through.
Well, I have the ESA or the TSA pass, so I don't have to go through the extra screen. It's like going through the carpool lane, and
Okay.
I liked it. It was nice because there was a long line, and I went through the TSA pass, and I waited for the family to go by, and I got directed to another way. I'm like, ooh, I like this. I like this a lot. Didn't have to remove the belt. Didn't have to remove the shoes. Didn't have to do a lot of stuff. I just walked through. I was like, hi, thank you.
You're like high and by.
Yeah. And then like an idiot, I left that tool in the bag. Oh, my God. That was embarrassing.
And they were like, what are you doing with this, sir? Why is this in your bag? I forgot to take it out.
Yeah, that was stupid of me. They were really cool about it.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. I guess Kobe Bryant was just chosen cornerback by Cincinnati. I'm sorry. From Cincinnati, Seattle Seahawks. So, wow. Number 9, Kobe Bryant. He's a cornerback from Cincinnati. There you go. So now the Ravens are on the clock. This is a 110th pick.
Wow. Are you talking about Kobe Bryant Jr. or what?
Coby Bryant. No, it's not Junior.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God! Had you asked that question, the big dog would have been here. He would have lame basted you. Wow.
Yeah, he would have.
Oh, good God, yes. Jeez, that's funny. All right. Well, all kidding aside, Speedy, I've got to get going. Did you want to continue the program?
No, I think that's pretty much it then.
All right. Yeah, folks, I want to thank everyone that joined us today. Of course, we did have Speedy on with us right now. Thank you for writing with me today. Dreem joined us several times as well. Thank you. And our thoughts are with the big dog, obviously, for the trials that he is enduring right now. And we hope that he can work through them. And we will be here in the meantime. And we'll see. He's very private, and he doesn't really post all that stuff. So good for him. And we hope to have him back real soon. So I'm the scorekeeper. He's Speedy. Speedy, take us away.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today and enjoying our mischievous behavior. Well, really not mine. Everyone have a safe weekend. Have a good one. And I'm glad I was able to get through this entire broadcast the way I'm feeling.
Hey, Speedy, I'm glad you did. I'm laboring too, buddy, but life is good. It's the best we can say.
Yeah.
All right, man. On behalf of Sports Talk with the Guys, we thank you. Enjoy it. Mother's Day is still another full week away. It is wrong calendar. I apologize. I was looking at March. I don't know why. In May, of course, it's the 8th It's the second Sunday in May. Father's Day is the third Sunday. And in the Latin world, in many parts of the world, Mother's Day is May 10th. So, kind of cool. All right, folks. This is it. At Speedy.
Take care, everyone.
Scorekeeper. I'm out of here. We'll see you guys on the other side. Peace!